If you have any friends, relatives, listen, pass out the address. We have a school building for y'all to learn more for your family, all right? As well, we have a school location in San Antonio. That address is going to be 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. All right, that school's been out there over 25 years, so this knowledge and truth has been pushed out amongst the four corners for a mighty long time. Again, that is San Antonio. The address is going to be 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas. We have another school, Albuquerque, New Mexico. We were just out in Albuquerque. It's beautiful out there. God. All right, the address is going to be 501 Copper Avenue, Northwest Albuquerque, New Mexico. The brothers are out there doing the work as well. So if you have any family members in that area, surrounding area, please give them that address. Again, 501 Copper Avenue, Northwest Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right? And for those that are new, our class time Monday through Wednesday is going to be from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. All right? Friday service is going to be from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then the Sabbath morning service, we have class from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. All right? And for those that are in the Austin area, that have any family members in the Austin area, hit us up. We'll give you the location time. That's to be announced. All right? And for those that have kids, children, all right? And that could range from the age of, listen, 18 down, 17 and down, whatever it may be. We have a children's channel, ISBHPK Kids Channel. And that's specifically for the youth and to talk about issues that they deal with. And that's going to be every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So that's going to be a live stream. But as well, we have it archived. So you can go back into YouTube, check it out, and let your children listen to it, man, rather than, you know, all this garbageness that we have out there, the music videos, all other type of distractions that they have, all right? So that is ISBHPK Kids Channel, all right? As well, we have an archive channel. It's going to be ISBHPK. We have all our live classes there, but as well we have saved classes. I'm talking about from years. We have classes over Genesis, the Revelation breakdowns. A lot of questions that you think you may have, or questions that you have. Listen, look on there, and I guarantee you that there's definitely a class that will answer your question or edify you. All right? And that's going to be ISBHPK. All right? We have a blog talk. We have a blog talk radio Monday through Friday from the brother Mashaba. They're out of San Antonio and Albuquerque. He's doing this show Friday from 9:30 a.m. all the way. It's 2 hours for those that get, you know, your days want to get right. Listen, check out that blog talk. You can find him at blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. And you know, they have a lot of classes on there as well. If you go to blogtalkradio.com, they have a list of shows that they have. Yes, brain fart. A list of shows that they have on there. And I believe it's going to be Shield of Truth. But you can look at it again. Once again, it's going to be blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. And you should find all the classes on there. All right? As well, we have, for those that are interested, we have garments. So those that want some type of Israelite apparel, hit the sisters up on Facebook. It's called Israel Wear. All the garments that you see the brothers have in here, the headbands, the vests, the pants, the armbands, we do it ourselves. The sisters been putting in work and diligent work, getting that ready for themselves, for the women, for the purses, the dresses, the shirts, the head wraps, all the way into the men as well, the headbands. So if you have anything that you want, hit the sisters up on Israel Wear on Facebook, and they'll be more than happy to take your order and to get that accomplished. All right, and for those that have more questions, that need more edification, before class, after class, you can hit the priest up specifically on their phone. We have Priest Kazakia. His number is going to be 281-707-2737. Again, the number is 281-707-2737. And for Priest Quatazap, all right, his number is going to be 303-557-8979. Again, for Priest Quatazap, it is 303-557-8979. And for those that really don't like to deal with any type of, you know, interactions like that via the phone calls, the text, listen, email us. All right, you can catch us at isbhbk@isbhbk.org. So any questions, concerns, hit us up via email. Again, that is isbhbk@isbhbk.org. And for those that want to give any type of monetary donations, on the bottom you see our Wells Fargo account. Listen, you can send funds there because when it comes to this building, the lights, the internet, we definitely pay for that. We have a business, but once again, all contribution is needed. If it's not monetarily, we have our address. You can send books, pens, apocryphers, Bibles, anything for the edification of your people, because this is a life journey that we're doing, and it's not for ourselves, man. It's for those that hunger and that need. So if you have anything that's on your heart that you want to give, please give. If you have Google Wallet, we have a Google Wallet account that you can actually send funds as well. That's going to be isbhbk@gmail.com. So we have that way, that link, as well we have the Wells Fargo account that should be on the bottom of the screen. All right? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Priest Quatazap Ash for further edification.
All right. Hey, shalom. Hey, y'all got any questions? Any questions? Hey, just so y'all know, we didn't have class the last couple of days. We went out to Albuquerque for a summit with those brothers out there. We have a school out there, so we went out there to link up with some brothers. And just, it was good, man. We got to talk and build and plan. So it was good. It was worth it. We got back at like 3 o'clock today. So, yeah. We're here now, class, right? Any questions? Any questions? What's your name, brother?
Me?
Yeah.
Major.
Major. Any questions? You been here before?
Nah, it's my first day here. I was just trying to soak it in real quick.
Perfect.
I got some questions for later on.
Well, the way we do it, we do the questions first, and then we go into a class topic. So, I mean, you can ask.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
And whatever we can hit, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I have a few questions actually.
Okay.
I've been researching on my own basically for the past few years, and I've been, whether it was YouTube or whatever, studying on my own, I came across a lot of things that kind of, I don't know, clash against each other.
Okay.
Some scriptures stating how, Esau being the descendant of the so-called white folks and things of that nature, that not necessarily we should have a hate for them, but the Most High have a hate for them.
Right.
And also I see scriptures on the other end, like they're supposed to receive like some of the same blessings we're supposed to receive.
Okay.
So my question was like, in the midst of all of that, like how do we necessarily deal with, I don't know, living amongst them, or working among them?
Right.
Things of that nature.
So basically, how do we deal with Esau?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to, because you quoted it, right? So let's go to Romans 9 real quick. Let's go to Romans 9 and 13. What's up? Huh? Go to Romans 9 and 13. Your Romans, and let's see what the scriptures say, and let me know when y'all got that.
Done.
You got it. You got it, bro.
What was the question?
Well, the question was basically, how do we? Well, what is your direct question?
My direct question is, how do we? Knowing that, like, I guess the Most High, how do we deal with Esau, knowing that we have to live with him, we have to, walk on this earth with him for one, and the laws of the land say we can't do certain things to him, and we know that's off of history and strength that things happen to us.
Right.
Like times 10, right? So, like, we hurt one of them, they come and hurt like 10 of us, type of thing.
Right. So how are we supposed to do that? Deal with that?
Yeah, how do we deal with that? Because as of lately, we've been ignoring it from what I've been ignoring. I don't know about anybody else.
Right. Go to Romans, because you said something about Romans, right? About hating them.
Right.
Right. So let's go to Romans real quick.
Done.
What is that? Romans 9 and
Verse 13.
Get that. Go ahead.
Done.
Uh-huh.
Give me a comment when you got it.
I think everybody has it.
All right.
Read.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Have who hated?
Have I hated.
So, let's read up. Let's go to Romans. Let's go up to Romans chapter 9 and verse 11.
9 and verse 11.
See, this is what we got to understand is that this was all prophecy. So, once we get that, then we can eliminate what I like to call, we get to eliminate the emotions out of it. Because these are the things that were supposed to happen. Read Romans 9 and verse 11.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
For the children being not yet born.
Go ahead. They were what?
Being not yet born.
So we got to keep this in mind. The children weren't born yet, speaking of Jacob and Esau. Go ahead.
Neither having done any good or evil.
They didn't do any good or evil. Go ahead.
That the purpose of the Most High.
That who?
The purpose of the Most High.
Go ahead.
According to the election.
Go ahead.
Might stand.
Read on.
Not of works.
Not of works. Go ahead.
But of him that calleth.
Which was the Most High. The Most High is the one that set it up. He set up the election, right?
God.
Read on.
Verse 12. It was said unto her.
See, this was said unto Sarah, right? Who's he? Not
Rachel.
Rachel.
Or no, Rebecca.
Rebecca. Long day. It was said to Rebecca. God. Esau and Jacob's parent, mother, right?
God.
Before they were born, that what? Read on.
The elder shall serve the younger.
Right. Who was the elder? And the first came out red and hairy. Right?
God.
Speaking of Esau, go ahead.
Shall serve the younger.
So this was already prophecy. Go ahead.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved.
Who loved?
Most High.
Most High, right?
God.
Most High never commanded us. And this is where a lot of brothers, they read it, and it's like, okay, now we're supposed to go out and hate them. But let's be, and I'm going to go through it, but the thing is, and like we went over this last Sabbath. We went over this whole, and we can get you the link. We went over this whole thing about hate for like 3 hours.
God.
Dealing with this very topic on hate and who should be hating, who should not be hating, who we should hate and who we should not be hating. But it said, Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have hated. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High?
Right, because it's like, wait a minute, is the Most High unrighteous because he hated? Nah, the Most High can do that. But what did he command us? Go to,
I got one.
What you got?
Romans chapter 12 and verse 18.
Is it on my point? Is it on the topic? Romans what?
12 and 18.
Romans 12. Hold that.
Okay. Hebrews 12 and 14.
I need that, so hold that.
Hebrews 12 and 14?
Let's see. I just don't want you to jump.
Oh, I got you.
I just don't want you to jump. I'm trying to just give it in an order where it's, what on? You say Hebrews? Yeah, hold that. Hold those two. We're going to get, bam. Right back to back.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and 7.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I got you.
Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter what?
23 and verse 7.
And verse 7. Because you were saying that there was some sort of conflict with the scriptures, right? Where it's like, hate them, but don't hate them.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. When we read it slow, we break it down. It said, for Jacob I have loved, and Esau I have hated.
Right.
This is the Most High saying this.
Right.
He never commanded us to hate. But we're going to see, what did the Most High command us? Read that. Deuteronomy 23 and verse 7. Stop highlighting and just read.
God, Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
Thou shalt not what?
Abhor an Edomite.
Somebody give me the definition of abhor. Somebody get me, I'll look it up in this 1828.
Oh,
You got it?
God.
Faster than you, bro. Got it.
I got it.
Regard.
God.
Who got it?
I got you.
What you got?
It says a regard with disgust and hatred.
There it is. It says, thou shalt not regard with disgust or hatred towards an Edomite. You see that? Go ahead.
Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
Stop highlighting, bro.
God.
Please. Pick the Bible up and read so that everybody can hear you online.
God.
Read.
Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
Go ahead.
For he is thy brother.
For he is thy what?
Thy brother.
Because if we want to get technical, and we don't have to get technical, it's written. We're brothers. People like to, we got a lot of Israelites that love to, not deal with this point in the Bible and forget that we came from the same loins. We came from the same womb. So he said, thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. Why? Go ahead.
For he is thy brother.
Because he's your brother. In a technical sense, he's our brother. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian.
Because, you got a lot of brothers that love to hate on the Egyptians. Why? Because they had us captive in their land, right?
God.
They was beating us down. They had 10-day work weeks, right? They were taking away the necessary things we need to even be slaves to them. They defiled us in every which way. But it says, thou shalt what?
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian.
Read why.
Because thou was a stranger in his land.
Yeah, so the Most High has given us these details of we shouldn't hate. You know why we shouldn't hate? Why do you think we shouldn't hate people?
For one, I mean, it's just a negative thing to do.
It's a negative thing to do.
Yep.
But think about it. How good are we at love? How good as a people? How good are we at love?
Honestly, I think we love beyond measure. Like, we always love everybody else.
But what about Chicago? That's love? That's love? Think about it. Think about it. 100 people in one weekend. That's love?
Michigan.
See, Michigan. See, the reason why I'm posing these questions is because if we look at ourselves as a whole, we don't know how to love. We don't know what love is, according to the scriptures. We think love is like, oh, I get that butterfly feeling on my gut. We think that that's what love is. Or, oh, I paid your phone bill. Think about the mentality of think about just the women out in the street. They think that love is, he pays my phone bill, he takes me shopping. But he beats you. He punches you in the face, but he still takes me shopping. You see the mentality? We don't even understand what it is really to love one another. Or to love, think about it. You got parents that don't know how to love their kids. You got women that think, because you got women that are, a lot of them get into bad situations. And they think, oh, well, because I have my child with me, and I'm dragging my child through the bad situation, as long as they're with me, that's love. That's not love. Think about it. Think about it. Think about a mother.
Yeah.
She's going through some hard times and she ends up homeless. And instead of saying, you know what, let me get my kids somewhere where they're not being dragged through where I'm being dragged through, you're like, nope, I'm gonna bring my child right along with me. As long as my child is with me, that shows that I love them. But you're dragging them through the things they don't need to be through. You see where I'm saying what I'm saying, because our definition of love, we don't know what love is. What you got? Yeah, we can go there. Read that one more time.
God, Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
So thou shalt not hate an Edomite. Read.
For he is thy brother.
For he is thy what?
Thy brother.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian.
Go ahead.
Because thou was a stranger in his land.
Right, so we're seeing that the Most High said he hated, but he commanded us not to hate. Right. Now, you do have instances in the Bible where you read about David, right? And what did David say? Let's go there. Go to Psalms.
Psalms 139, verse 22.
Let's go there. See, we gotta look at everything in the context of how it's written and what the Most High was trying to show us. Somebody turn their volume down. Somebody got their volume up. Go there. Psalms what?
Psalms chapter 139 and verse 21 and verse 22.
Let me know when y'all got it. You got it in the major, right? You got it? Con. And con means yes. Okay. And la'ah means no. So we do speak a little Hebrew in here. But just so you know what we're saying. Con means yes. Go ahead, read that.
Con. Psalms chapter 139 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
Do not I hate them, O Lord.
Read. So David said, do not I hate them. But we're going to see why. Was David just like emotional?
La.
Was he like this emotional wreck?
La.
That just hated people and couldn't control his emotions and just went off any whim?
La.
What was David controlled by? Who knows? What was David led by?
No, the Spirit.
David was led by the Spirit. David was led by the Spirit. How do we know? Did not David have multiple times where he could have killed Saul?
God.
Right? And
God.
what did David say? It's not on me to touch the Most High's anointed. David had in his mind that I got to move according to what the Most High wants.
God.
Right? So even in this context, he said, read it again.
Do not I hate them, O Lord.
Do not I hate them, O Lord. Why? Read.
That hate thee.
That what?
That hate thee.
So who is David talking about here? What you think, Major? Who is David talking about here? I hate them that hate thee.
Edomite, right?
No. What's up?
Well, when you read Deuteronomy chapter 1 and 1, the law, statutes, and commandment was only given to Israel at that time. So those who hate the Most High are the people who have His word to understand and disobey.
Right. Think about it. He said, I hate them that hate thee. How do you show hate for the Most High? I want major answer because
God.
just to get the wheels turning.
Keeping like the law and statutes.
By breaking the law, right?
Breaking the law.
You're basically saying this is my disrespect, this is my hatred towards the Most High. Right? So he said, I hate them that hate thee. But see, David wasn't just talking about Israel, he's talking about everybody. It wasn't a thing like, oh, I hate you because of your skin color. I hate you because of the way you look. I hate you because you're a dirty African. I hate you because you enslaved my people. Think about it. Did not Solomon have 40 years of peace?
God.
How was Solomon able to achieve this? What, could he run around just hating people? No, I hate you. No. He had respect from the other nations. He had Queen of Sheba, which was what? Ethiopian?
God.
She came, she brought gifts. Right? Wagons full of spices and gold, and she was paying tribute, just like all these other nations paid tribute. Yearly, monthly, whatever it was. They sent things to Solomon. But that was out of respect. If he was walking around like, yeah, I hate y'all, I hate this, I hate that, you're filthy, you're dirty. Because that's when we get into this mode as Israelites. We get into this mode of, yes, we are, with the law, statutes, and commandments, we are supposed to be above all people. Right? Is it some arrogant, just, arrogant disdain for people? No. It shouldn't be this arrogance that, oh, the Most High chose me, so you ain't crap. No. Because when you go back to Romans 9 and 13, he said, I'll have mercy upon who I have mercy upon. You see that? So, what if the Most High decided that I'm going to have mercy on Esau? Or a few Edomites here and there? What you going to do? Be like, oh, wow, you can't do that, Most High? You see my point? Where we start to misjudge because of skin color, appearance, just out of sheer emotion. I get it. I'm with you where it's like, how long are we going to take the beat down? How long? But think about it. What do you have to fight the beat down? What do you have? Because as soon as you pull a gun, here comes 4 guns. You go, let's go get the homeboys then. Okay, they're going to come with bigger guns. And to the point where we dead and bloody in the street regardless. And then we're of no benefit to our people. Because what's the mission right now? To gather, to teach the word. Right? So that's where we got to be at, where it's time for me to build my knowledge. It's time for me to build my spirit. For when Christ comes, I'm prepared. Like we went through the class about the 5 virgins, right? And having their lamp. Think about it. Think about this. Christ went out preaching, right? Christ went out preaching with the apostles. They street teach, they healed, they did all that. How many times in the scriptures did Christ preach against the Romans? That you can read. Think about it. How many times did Christ preach against the Romans? Like, you filthy, wicked Romans. God is coming to destroy your kingdom. Blase, blase, skip. How many times do you read that? But what did Christ tell the apostles? He said, go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Because what was it about? Was it about hating the things that we already know was going on? No, it was about fixing ourselves to get up out of that, to not have to deal with that. That's what it was about. That's what it's always got to be about. Am I saying that brothers are wrong for teaching that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of? No. But when it gets to this point where it's like, now I'm going to take it upon myself to go out there and want to smash Esau, your mind ain't right, because there's nothing that you can do to stop what the Most High already prophesied. You see what I'm saying? So think about it. All the energy we put into hate, that energy can be put into the kingdom, because the kingdom of heaven is what? Amen. Scripture said the kingdom of heaven is within you. So if I'm trying to build this kingdom, what do I got to be investing in? Who do I got to invest in?
You got to invest in the brother and the fruits of the spirit to build up that brother.
God, I need to invest in the man next to me.
God.
Iron sharpened the iron, right?
God.
27:17.
God.
I need to be invested in this brother so I can build the kingdom within him. And then he's going to invest in the next man and the next man. And because all it is if you look at it like this, we're building this kingdom brick by brick. But guess what? You're a brick. He's a brick. He's a brick. He's a brick. We're the foundation to this. We're the foundation. And as you build a house properly, you build it brick by brick. And you put every brick in place so that it can't be moved. But if I'm worried about going out and worrying about somebody else's house before I build my own, what's going to happen? I ain't going to build right. I'm worried about what's going on over here. Esau's kingdom is already built. What's sad about that is we built that too. But we got to take the same care to come back and say, you know what? We're building for a better purpose, because this kingdom is going to be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? Where you at?
Psalms chapter 139 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee.
Read.
And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
They do what?
Rise up against thee.
Yeah, he wasn't grieved because he was just emotional. He was grieved at the ones that were rising up against the Most High. You see that? Read on.
I hate them.
I do what?
I hate them.
Read.
With perfect hatred.
What was the perfect hatred? What was the perfect hatred that David had? Why was it perfect? Why was David's hatred perfect compared to us hating out of emotion? What made David so special?
He was trusting in the Most High. Say
it one more time.
He didn't have to hate him because the Most High already did.
That, but it said that David was a man after the Most High's own heart. Right? That hatred was complete because David knew how to love. Think about the situations with Saul when you read about it. How many times did David have the chance to kill Saul? First of all, how many times did Saul try to kill David?
A lot.
A lot, right?
How long?
No. Oh, the brother dropped that on us. In the summit, the brother was telling us that when you go through the scriptures, it was almost like 14 years that David was on the run from Saul. Think about a man trying to kill you for 14 years. Wouldn't that build some sort of resentment and hate towards him?
God.
If anything, you like, out of sheer defense, I got to get rid of this nigga. I got to take him out because he got me running for my life. So let me take him out so I can alleviate the fact that at any moment I can die. And did not David have multiple chances? When he ran up and took his canteen, right? He could have killed Saul right then and there. But every time he warned him. But every time he came back and said, it is not up on me to smite the Most High anointed. You see that? Even in Saul's ill spirit towards David, David was like, nah, forgiveness, mercy. That's what made David's hate perfect, because now he was like, listen, I'm hating you because you're rising up against what the Most High is laying down. Not because I'm some emotional bag, or not because I see what's going on out in the streets. You know, when you deal with like Moses, right? When you deal with Moses, when he slew that Egyptian, Did Moses slew that Egyptian out of hate? What's not a hate? You know the story of Moses, right?
Right.
When he went, he saw the Egyptian dealing with the slave, the Hebrew, and what did Moses do? He killed that Egyptian, right? Did he do it out of hatred? Like, did it say, oh, Moses hated the Egyptians, so no, Moses was raised with the Egyptians. But from the jump, Moses knew who he was. You see that? Moses knew who he was, and he was standing for something. He was standing for the people. You see that? It was never anything done out of sheer ignorance, emotion, my own will, my own mind. It was always done out of the mind of the Most High. So now we get to the point where, what's up?
Oh no, because you were talking about just like even the creed, even the conduct, how David presented himself about not touching the Most High's anointed. He still killed. He killed the guy who slew Saul at the end because Saul ordered the guy that he fell on his sword and he didn't die, so he told him to finish the job.
Finish the job.
And then he came and reported that to David. David got hot and destroyed him. He was like, listen, who are you to touch the Most High's
anointed?
I don't care if he was on or if he told you to do that. You're not supposed to do that.
That wasn't on you. Because why? Emotions get involved. Lack of judgment. The wrong judgment. You see that? Where we at in the scriptures?
That was Psalms chapter 139 and verse 22.
Was that it?
Go
ahead.
I hate them with perfect hatred.
Read.
I count them my enemies.
My what?
My enemies.
Read on.
That was it.
Yeah, you're an enemy because now you're coming up against the Most High. You see that? Now let's go to the ones you pulled.
Romans 12 and
18, Hebrews. Because this is the mission. You got to understand, living here in America, amongst Esau, amongst the nations, we do have a goal. Before you do that, go to Deuteronomy. Because the law was given to us, right? What was the purpose of the law? No.
I got you.
No, I want Major. I want Major to answer. I want to see what he's thinking.
Basically, just to keep order.
Keep order, right? What else? What was Adam given in the very, very beginning? Right? What else? What do you call that?
Lesson?
Con. Go to
You want 4 and 5?
No, where?
Deuteronomy?
Hold that. Go to Genesis real quick.
Okay.
Actually, you didn't got to go there. The Most High gave Adam dominion. He gave us dominion over everything on the earth. But through what? Through the scriptures, right? Through the commandments, through the wisdom, right? Now go to Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy.
The law was made. Yes, after we got out of Egypt, we got the law to refresh us, to clean us up from that Egyptian captivity. The law served 2 purposes. It was for us to get right, but it was also for us to keep the nations in check. The other nations. Because no matter what, they had to come up under the law also. Right? So, read where we at.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 5.
Go ahead.
And verse 6.
Behold,
I have taught you statutes.
Read.
And judgments.
Read.
Even as the Lord my God commanded me.
So Moses was telling us, listen, I'm teaching you the things that the Most High told me to teach you. Go ahead.
That ye should do so in the land, whether ye go to possess it.
Go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them.
Do what?
Keep therefore and do them.
Keep and do them. Go ahead.
For this is your wisdom.
For this is your what?
Wisdom.
Read.
And your understanding.
Read.
In the sight.
Read.
Of the nation.
Go ahead.
Which shall hear all these statutes.
And even if they don't hear them, they're going to see the application when you do it. Go ahead.
And say, surely this great nation.
This what?
This great nation.
But think about it. Do the nations look at us, blacks, Hispanics, and natives, as a great nation? Why? Why?
Because of how we, display it on media.
Right. The way we're put out there. We're put out there as what? We're put out there as lawless heathens, right? We're put out there as savages, animals, pants sagging, right? coke dealing, women beating Negroes. What?
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 15.
Go,
All that pass by.
hold on, let them get it.
It's a lot.
I know your sword is sharp. Let them get it. Let them get it. Because there's no point in speeding through it.
Yeah.
We want the brother to get the scriptures.
Lamont, I want you to help the brother behind you.
Yeah, help Neiman get the scriptures. Let me know when you have Lamentations what?
2 and verse 15.
God.
Done?
God.
You got it, Major?
No.
Yeah, take your time.
After Jeremiah, sir.
If you need a Bible on, we got an extra Bible.
I'm there.
You got it?
Yeah.
Read.
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
All that pass by.
Read.
Clap their hands at thee.
They do what?
Clap their hands at thee.
Read. And not in a good way. Not like, oh, hooray. Nah. It's like, yeah, like you're the pillar of the earth. You're the wise people. Read on.
God, they hiss and wag their head.
Yeah, they, like SMH, shaking my head. Like, you niggas are supposed to be the kings and priests of the earth? You got your damn pants, you can't even wear a belt. You don't even know how to wear a belt properly. You can't even clean yourself. You can't even take care of your children. But you're supposed to be the Most High's chosen? Shaking my head. Go ahead.
And wag their head.
Read.
At the daughter of Jerusalem.
At the what?
At the daughter of Jerusalem.
Why? Because you're not looking at the wisdom that we have. Because why? We're not using it. Go ahead.
Saying, is this.
Is what?
Is this.
Go ahead.
The city that men call the perfection of beauty?
Yeah, like, all in the perfection of beauty. Y'all like little monkeys. Y'all like little apes. Little terrors. Little monsters that run through the streets, kill each other, sell drugs, pimp your women, discard your children, run to abortion clinics. Y'all are supposed to be the perfection of the... Y'all are the ones that are built in the image of the Most High? How?
What?
But see, the law, when we were using it, and we used it right, jump back to Deuteronomy.
Come.
And read where you left off.
Come, verse 6.
Jump down to the last precept.
Last precept. And say,
Uh-huh.
surely this great nation,
This what?
great nation,
Go ahead.
is a wise and understanding people.
Read on.
Verse 7. For what nation is there so great?
Yeah. See, instead of them saying, what nation is there so great? They're like, y'all are the perfection of beauty? Hell no. You see that? And there's a reason why I'm going here. Because the law was supposed to do something for us when it came to dealing with the nations. They were supposed to look at us as the beacon of hope, the beacon of judgment, of proper judgment. Again, think about Solomon. How do you achieve 40 years if you're running through the earth, calling everybody dirty monkeys, dirty Africans? You dirty Edomite, I'm going to kill you. Right? You filthy Edomite. How? How was Solomon doing that if he was making them kiss his boots? Right? Think about it. He had to use wisdom. He used wisdom to get them in check. He used wisdom to keep the people in order to deal with the nations also. That's what it wasn't just Solomon dealing with the nations. It was all Israel dealing with the nations. But the scriptures say, as a king is, so are his officers.
God.
So as Solomon was just a hatred-ass, just niggerish dude, so were his people. There wouldn't be no peace. So Solomon used the law to keep order. What's up?
Because of
Before you say anything, you with me, right?
I got you.
Okay, go ahead.
Because of David's credibility with the king in Lebanon, where all the cedar wood came from to build the temple, because David established this great track record. This rapport. The king in Lebanon gave willfully the materials needed for Solomon to build the temple. He said, because of your dad, bro, anything you ask, it's on me.
Because even David wasn't just running around just, you filthy nations. He hated anybody that came up against the Most High, his nation or not, Israelite or not. And that's the mind that we should be in. We get into the way where we misjudge things. Right? What's up?
Also on King David, because the scriptures talk about winning you the love of the congregation, right?
Right.
Making friends with the men. At one point in time, because David still had his 30 mighty men, right? But he still had 600 bodyguards that were African.
Yeah.
He had 600 personal bodyguards. They were all Africans. They would lay down his life for him.
So think about having personal bodyguards of another nation. You have to deal with them in a certain way. They couldn't hate you. They couldn't have no ill will towards you. They're going to guard you. They're going to set you up. You see that? So, but what was David operating in? The law. He used the law to say, I'm going to deal with everybody just. You see that? So, are you finished with Deuteronomy?
Good.
Now jump over to Hebrews 12. You see how I did that?
Hebrews or you running Romans?
Romans 12.
Good.
You see how I did that, Aria?
God.
God.
Hey. You know what I'm saying?
He's going fast, huh? He was trying to jump the point. Go to Romans 12.
And verse 18.
And verse 18.
When you have it?
No. Y'all got it?
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 18.
Romans 12 and 18, yeah.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you,
Read.
live peaceably
Read.
with all men.
Wait, with some men.
All men.
Wait, just the Israelites.
All men.
Yeah, it said if possible, be at peace with all men. Because you know what? It is possible. It is possible. All things are possible through Christ. Right? Christians love quoting that scripture, but then it's like, I don't know if I can do that. But he just said all things are possible. So, read it one more time.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 18.
Go ahead.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Jump to verse 17.
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
So, just to hit the point on, we know what they out there doing to us. Move over a little bit so I can see the brother. Yeah. We know what they're out there doing to us. Right. But it says do what?
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Yeah. That's not our job. To go out there. The Most High Christ said, vengeance is mine. We're going to get it. But he said, vengeance is mine. I will repay. Get that one from me. So he said, recompense no man evil for evil. Go ahead.
Provide things honest.
Go ahead.
In the sight of all men.
Read on.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you,
I found it. Go ahead.
Live peaceably with all men.
Go ahead.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
Wait. Go out there and kill all the Edomites for slavery.
Avenge not yourselves.
Wait, but I'm so pissed off, I definitely got to go kill a cop.
Avenge not yourselves.
Go ahead.
But rather give place unto wrath.
Yeah, he said give place unto wrath. It wasn't our place to be wrathful. Give me that one. It's in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 10 and 18. This guy's hilarious, man. Hold that real quick. Hold where you at, Jeremiah. Lamont. Come on, man. Wake up, bro. Read that. Ecclesiastes 10 and 18.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18.
Go ahead.
Pride was not made for men.
Read.
Nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman.
You see that? Furious anger wasn't made for them that are born of a woman. We can't handle that. Furious, because now when you're furious, think about when you're furious anger, you start acting out of emotions. You start misjudging and you make the wrong move. Now, now you're in jail. Now you're in jail. Now you're dead. You know, so we got to look at these things and see why the Most High said don't do it. Because think about this, man. And I always look at things like this, that if we truly put our faith in the Most High, the butt whooping that he puts on people, it cannot be compared to any that you can do. Yeah, I know where you want to go. What's up?
No. Just thinking about it, because when you deal with the Old Testament, right?
Yeah.
There was a lot of battles that we had that we didn't even put a hand to the people, man.
Yeah.
The Most High destroyed cities with us just blowing trumpets, man.
Yeah.
Walking around it.
Walking around cities. What did he do? He just let the city fall and dropping walls. Jericho. Yeah. Think about it though. But we have to really put our faith in the Most High, that he was going to avenge us. And that if I put, because as soon as you say, you know what, I'm going to take it upon myself, you already killed the Most High, that intervention. because you intervened on your own behalf. But we're supposed to let the Most High. See, that's part of the wisdom. Is knowing that if I just at least try to be peaceable. First of all, the scriptures say, if you do what's pleasing in the sight of the Most High, even your enemies will be at peace with you. You see that? Somebody get that. It's in Proverbs. My memory is, and it's been a long day. Somebody get that for me. Proverbs 16 and 7.
Gun.
Got his phone in there? Yeah. Yeah, he ain't slick.
I already had it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
When a man's ways please the Most High.
What ways? We just read it in Romans. Recompense no man evil for evil. But if possible, be at peace. So you might be out here antagonizing my life and making my life hell. You got a lot of people that, you know, my boss, they're a nation, they're an Edomite, and they're just wicked towards me. Well, what your job is try to be at peace. Try to soft answer, turn away much wrath. You know, you're supposed to take low. As much as we hate doing it, but guess what? A lot of us do it willingly for that paycheck. Right. You see that? But why not do it to show the Most High that I know you're going to get me at the end? So he said that if all possible, as much life in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves. Read where you at, Jeremiah.
He maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Yeah. So if I'm not rendering evil for evil and trying to go back and forth, and I'm doing now what pleases the Most High, guess what he's going to do? He's going to take care of that evil, whatever it may be. He's going to eradicate that from my life. But you got to really believe that. You got to really believe it that the Most High is going to do it because he's done it. You see that? Where we at?
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7.
Jump back to Romans 12.
Okay.
You can get that. Why? Yeah, get that. Where you at? Matthews?
Yeah.
Matthews 5:25? 27? It's another one that we don't apply too much. Where what happens is when we don't apply this, it stirs up that hatred. It stirs up that hatred for the other nations. Matthews 5:27.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 27.
Go ahead.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time.
25. It's a lot. Yeah, Matthew 5:25.
Agree with thine adversary quickly.
Wait, we're supposed to hate him?
Agree
Go ahead.
with thine adversary quickly.
Yeah, you're supposed to agree with your adversary quickly. Esau pull you over. What you gonna do? How about the car start screaming, nigga, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. What did I do? You end up like Sandra Bland. Right. That's what she did. Choked out. She didn't understand. Let me agree with my adversary quickly. I got pulled over the other night. First thing I did, shut the car off, windows down. He walked up, did you know your taillight was out? I was like, no, officer, I didn't. He was like, well, you know why I pulled you over? Because most people don't know it's out. And I was like, okay, license and registration. Already on the seat, here you go. I'm not on that, oh, I'm sovereign, I'm a Hebrew, I don't gotta show you nothing, I'm a traveling man. F all that. I'm giving you the scripts, I'm giving you what you need so I can be on my way without getting shot in the face or windows busted out. Think about all them Facebook videos you see. The brother gets pulled over, he's like, I don't have to show you any identification. And how does that turn out? He's getting shot, getting windows cracked open, he's getting pulled through the driver's side window. Think about it. Me, I ain't got time for that. Agree with that adversary quickly. What you need? License and registration? Here you go. He checks it out. Oh, that's good. ID? Oh, that's good. Get the taillight fixed. Yes, sir. I'm on my way. 10 minutes. I'm in and out. Not no, let me get 5 other patrol cars, the dog to sniff out your car to see if you got drugs. Because think about it. Why am I going to bring that to me? Because all it does is this. I didn't agree with my adversary quickly, so what does my adversary do? He gets more harsh. Right? He might end up whooping my ass in them streets. Now, I built up this animosity towards him. And then that animosity is not going to go away just because. Now I'm going to start to hate him. You see that? You see that's where hate comes from. It comes from this, not knowing how to agree quickly with your adversary. Read on. It says, agree with thy adversary quickly. What?
Whilst thou art in the way
Read on.
with him.
Read on.
Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge.
You see that? Because he has the power to deliver you to the judge. And their judge these days is them. When you're out in the streets with these cops, they're judge, jury, and executioner. Right. Because they pull you over, they convict you, and they put a cap in you right there. They don't take you to the real judge. They judge you. The Most High is judging you. Because you didn't want to apply something simple as agree with thy adversary quickly. You see that? Go ahead. Yerma, what's up?
Yeah. And on that instance, because what you're saying is absolutely correct. I'm not disagreeing with anything.
Right.
But the ones who were basically shot for complying, when they wasn't resistant or stuff like that, we call that a judgment by the Most High?
Well, it's always a judgment, no matter what. And a lot of it is for, the scriptures say the Jews require a sign. The Greeks seek out the knowledge. A lot of these killings, man, are for us to see and say, damn, the scriptures are true. What does the Bible say? The scriptures say that, it's in Psalms. It says, I always quote it wrong. Talks about he'll kill you and hold himself not guilty. Psalms, he'll suppress the oppressor, who's oppressed to slay them? Yeah, who's oppressed to slay them and hold themselves not guilty. That's, some of these are for you to see that scripture is true. Think about it. How many brothers done got shot? And it's like, not guilty. Sandra Bland, I just mentioned her. Not guilty. Dismissed. Right? So a lot of it is for us to see and say, damn, let me get right. Let me get right. Let me get myself out of these crosshairs. Listen, I don't feel no fear when I roll through the streets. That's why I know I ain't doing nothing wrong. Now, if I was out there doing wicked and creeping, and I get pulled over, y'all gotta be shook. But if I know I ain't doing nothing wrong, I'm good. You can pull me over all you want. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. You see what I'm saying? But if I know I'm doing a job for the Most High, if I'm teaching and putting my life on the line for the people, being that living sacrifice, I got nothing to worry about. I'm free. I'm free from all that. Oh my God, the cops. I got butterflies, I'm nervous. What you want, officer? License? Yeah, you got that. Here you go. Because, again, when you don't agree and you start going back and forth, railing with these people, they're always going to have the upper hand. And it's always going to, when they do defeat you, it puts something in your spirit. It puts that hate in you.
Right. And I like what you said earlier about the emotion part. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because when you read through the scriptures and how we dealt, it wasn't through emotion. It was through wisdom. You got to understand, it's like our adversary, the scripture says that the spirit in him is not upright. Mm-hmm. He's dealing off of emotion and irrational thinking. If we deal with emotion, the same thing with that, what you think we're going to get? We're going to get the same thing. So the Most High is trying to put in us this spirit of love, this spirit of understanding, wisdom, knowledge. So why? When we deal with them, bro, because this is their land, they can do whatever they want to us, man, as you see on the news. So it's like slowly but surely that the Most High has given us the knowledge, the wisdom of how to deal, but not in emotions, man. Our people, that's all they deal with is emotions, man. You can see him at the rallies. You can see him when they get pulled out the car. I just seen another, it was a video of a young man on his porch. The officer turned all the way up because he did not agree with his adversary quickly. Bro, listen, the officer would have pulled a pistol and busted him quick. He said, I want to hit you. I want you to move. But that's the spirit that we gave to him because we're not moving in wisdom. We're moving in emotions. So.
Right. What was the other scripture in Hebrews?
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14.
Read on. Wait for him to get it. We were in Romans 12 and 19, right?
That was Matthew.
We went to Matthew's
5:25. And then Romans 12, 17 and 18.
Right.
Proverbs 16 and 7.
Y'all got it?
Good.
Go ahead, read.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
Follow peace with all men.
Do what?
Follow peace with all men.
Yeah, see, if I'm following peace, you know what I'm doing? I'm applying the Bible. I'm understanding that I'm not going to be arguing, going back and forth, doubtful disputations, right? I'm not going to be arguing about genealogy, things that gender strife. I'm going to agree with my adversary quickly whilst I'm in the way. Why? Because I don't have time to deal with the extra. I'm going to live at peace as much as I can. I'm going to avoid situations. I'm going to know, oh, okay, this brother likes to argue. And that's for our people, but you can look at certain people and see and tell the way they're moving around like, oh, okay, yeah, he's coming to cause contention. So I'm going to try to avoid that at all costs. You see that? Go ahead.
And holiness.
Read.
Without which no man shall see the Most High.
Damn. That's cold. Read that one more time. Wow.
Hebrews chapter 12 verse 14. Follow peace with all men.
Read.
And holiness. Without which no man shall see the Most High.
Yeah. Without following peace and holiness, it says without that, no man shall see the Most High. If you constantly in the middle of some type of contention, it's not good for you. It's not good for your spirit. All it's going to do is build these negatives in you. Right.
You walking in the store, you walking in a restaurant, Esau pass you, knock him on the side real quick just because you hate you. You tripping them, you doing all these real quick small things that you think is nothing, but that's what hatred does, man. It comes out in your actions, in your thinking, in your talking. When you're driving, you probably just hit him with the F-bird, you know, and who knows what comes from that. So,
plus, I mean, to go to another level, you might be looking at somebody you think is Esau and they're not. We hit that all the time. Just because a man is white or look like an Edomite don't mean that he is. Because you don't know what his genealogy is. You see what I'm saying? Where you might be just hating your own people. A lot of brothers do that. They're like, oh, he's Esau because he looks Esau. But his daddy might be black as hell. He might have took the traits of his mama. He might have had a white daddy and a black mama. Or excuse me, black daddy, white mama. And took on the traits. Look at the balls, the Alonzo balls, right? Because like I'm saying, if you shave their head off, they look Italian. They do though, right? If you cut their hair or whatever, they look like white dudes. You know, there's the dude we talk about him, Wentworth Bentley. You ever watch Prison Break?
Yeah, I've seen that before.
The dude that put all the tattoos on his body, his daddy is blacker than everybody in here. Yes, sir.
Judah.
See what I'm saying? But he looks like a white boy.
No.
Yeah, but then think about this. Yeah, no, that's true. You can look it up. Wentworth Bentley, that's his name. His dad is a black. But then, you know, Tia and Tamara, right?
Yeah. Their dad white.
Their dad's white, but they're like regular black chicks. Quincy Jones's daughter, she's black. She looks white. Blue-eyed, blonde, or kind of blondish hair. That's black. But see, my point is we misjudge off of what we see and not go off the spirit of things. So we got to be careful of that also. You could actually throw Isaiah chapter 11 in your notes. Isaiah the 11th chapter down to the first, Isaiah 11th chapter down to the 6th verse. Ariel, what's up?
I was also going to say, point out, you know, because we always talk about David. When you look at Abraham, right? Mm-hmm. One of the patriarchs, he was called a friend of the Most High. Look at how he dealt with all nations.
Yeah. Wherever
he went, he was a sojourner who journeyed in a land that was promised to him that he still didn't even own. But look at his conduct, how amongst every heathen. Even when he took his servants and went to go rescue his nephew, and then even in the midst of that, then when he heard about Sodom and Gomorrah, a whole nation that was about to be destroyed, right? He begged and pleaded for that,
right? For
some righteous people to be in there, for that to be spared.
He was basically going back and forth. Like, listen, there got to be at least one righteous. There got to be at least 10. There got to be at least 20. Obviously, there wasn't. There was Lot and his people. But think about it. That whole Sodom and Gomorrah was Africans. You see that? So you got to look at the compassion that our people really had for other nations. We had compassion. Think about it. Why do you think we're kind of in this situation that we're in now? We didn't go in and do what the Most High told us to do. He told us to go in there and kill the Canaanites, take the land. Did we do it?
Nah.
No. our love for just people. So, you know, we have to get back to that, but we have to get back to loving ourselves first. And then you'll be justified in saying, you know what? Right. Now I hate you because you're not following what the Most High is laying down. You see that? Does that answer your question as far as that?
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. I mean, I guess I was thinking, a lot, like you said, a lot of other people, when they speak on like the hate for Esau, like, we're going to number, they're going to be going to do that whole avenge. Yeah.
let's watch this. That's an
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Like,
yeah. Get that real quick. Watch this. That's an yeah. Watch. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. One sec. Where's that? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, here it is. Isaiah 66 and verse 3. This is why, watch this. Go back real quick. Go back. We were at Romans 12, right? Go back to Romans 12 real quick. Go back to Romans 12 and verse 19. Somebody else get Psalms 18 and 47.
Romans chapter 12, you said 17 or 19?
19. Somebody else get Psalms 18 and 47. Somebody else go to Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, the 28th chapter.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
Read.
But rather give place unto wrath.
Read.
For it is written, vengeance is mine.
Is whose?
Mine.
Read. Who said it?
The Most High.
Read on.
I will repay.
Go ahead.
Said the Most High.
Go to Psalms 18 and 47.
Psalms chapter 18 and verse 47.
Uh-huh.
It is the Most High.
It is what?
The Most High.
Read on.
That avengeth me.
Go ahead.
And subdueth the people under me.
You see that? Now go to Psalm 6 and not Psalms, Isaiah. Yeah.
63.
Yeah. I'm saying so fast.
Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
He that killeth an ox.
No, that's not it. 60, Isaiah.
33 and 6?
No. Hold on. It's Isaiah 60. Go to Isaiah 63 and verse 1. Isaiah 63 and 1. 63 and verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Who is this that cometh from Edom?
Read.
With dyed garments from Basra.
Read on.
This that is glorious in his apparel.
Go ahead.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Notice that it's saying his. It's not saying their. Go ahead. Read on.
I that speak in righteousness. Mighty to save.
Mighty to what?
Mighty to save.
Read on.
Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel?
Why is your apparel red? Go ahead, read on.
And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
Man, this gives me chills. Read.
I have trodden in the wine press alone.
Wait. The whole nation was with me.
Alone.
Wait. So I have like 10 mighty men.
Alone.
Read.
And of the people there was none of with me.
Read.
For I will tread them in mine anger.
Go ahead.
And trample them in my fury.
Read.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment.
You know who this is talking about, right?
No.
Who is this talking about, Major? Christ. It's talking about Christ. Because the reason why I went back to Romans was to show you, he said, vengeance is mine. I will repay. He's showing you the repayment right here.
Yeah, so it's just him by himself.
Right. He's going to start it off. He's going to start it off. We're going to get a piece of it, but think about it. Think about this. Half of us can't even kill anything at all. You scared of a rat. No, let's be honest. A lot of us got that compassion in our heart. Why do you think we have to sacrifice animals? Because we're supposed to get that compassion. When we look at this little baby lamb and say, damn, I don't want to sin anymore to keep killing lambs. So think about it. It's not in us to kill like that. That spirit is going to have to be put on us. You see what I'm saying? That's got to be put on us at a time.
Right.
Christ is going to set it off. So it's not like we're just going to be out here just dashing people to people. Nah, that's got to be put on you. That's not going to be for everybody. The women and children are going to be out there bashing babies to pieces. Nah. We know what's going to happen, but that's not going to be even for everybody. Everybody's not going to be doing that. You see that? Read on.
And I will stain all my raiment.
Go ahead.
For the day of vengeance is in mine heart.
In whose heart? You see that? In Yahweh-Shai's heart. Go ahead.
And the year of my redeemed is come.
Read verse 5.
And I looked, and there was none to help.
You see that? He was going to do it first. He's going to come and set it off. Christ and the angels. It's going to be angels that's going to be doing all the dashing and killing. Right? It says he's going to come with the hundreds of thousands of angels. To do what? They're not just going to be standing around. They're going to be doing a lot of the killing. So, because you know what's going to happen at that time? You know why we're not going to be killing? Because you're going to be worried about, am I going to get saved or not?
Right.
You're going to be worried about, wait a minute, am I going with Christ? Or am I going to be the ones that's one of the ones that's getting killed? You see what I'm saying? That's why it says the day of the Most High. It's in what is it, Amos? It talks about it being a terrible day. It's not a peaceful day. Because why? Everybody's going to be wondering, like, damn, am I going to be going with you or am I going to be left here? Am I going to die? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I know we have some stuff online. I definitely want to get into this class. Let me just hit this question online real quick, just to see what they're saying. Da-da-da-da.
Did you want that day of the Most High?
Oh, you go hold it. Another question. Let's see. Can you go to it real quick? Oh, for some reason, my question.
Says another question. I am a mother of 5 children, and they watch the lessons for children on Sundays. They would like to know why aren't they able to ask the teacher questions like how we do, or how we are able to do an adult teaching?
Oh, because those classes are pre-recorded, right? Yeah, we pre-record those classes, and then we upload them. So you can't comment on something that's already not live. It's not a live. It's not a live upload.
Well, it is live stream. It's just,
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Even if they have questions, they could ask in the live chat.
Oh, I think they're saying that they're not able to.
Maybe they don't know what time we go live.
Oh, so we go live at what time? Just so they know.
2 p.m.
It changed to 2 p.m.
2 p.m. to 3, right? For the kids' class?
12 garments.
We will come back on Wednesday and let you know.
Kids' class, every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. So, kids' class is every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. As far as what I'm looking at on our announcements, that's Houston time. That's when it goes live. So, yeah, Central time. So if you're trying to ask questions after that and start even uploading, you're not going to be able to. So you might just be watching the recording and not the live. But yeah, you should be able to go on there and ask questions. You should be able to go on there and ask questions. But that's good. You got your kids watching that. Go to, oh, they got another question. The other question was, what happens to Israelites that died before they got a chance to hear the truth? Go to Luke. Go to Luke 12 and verse 47. So a person that died before they heard the truth, they're still accountable. It's no different than if you were driving, if let's say you were from New York, let's say you're from Colorado where you can turn right on a red light, and then you go to New York where it's illegal to turn right on red lights. They're still gonna give you that ticket. They don't care. They're like, you're supposed to know. And you driving, you operate the motor vehicle, you're supposed to know the law of that land. So the Most High is still judging for this person. But let's read it. Go ahead. Luke 12 and verse 47.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 47.
Go ahead.
And that servant, which knew his Lord's will,
read,
and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will.
Because you got the servant that knows the will of the Most High. He knows he's supposed to keep the law, but he didn't prepare himself, right? Go ahead.
Shall be beaten with many stripes.
Yeah, he gonna get whooped with many stripes. Because you knew that. Him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, it is sin unto him. But what about the man that didn't know? Damn, I shouldn't eat pork. What about the one that didn't know that pork was wrong? Does he just get off the hook? Nah. Because why? Why does he not get off the hook? I want to see who's thinking. What's up, Jeremiah?
Because he also had a chance to learn.
He had a chance to learn, but what if he didn't learn? What if he didn't get the chance? Because there was a time when the truth wasn't on YouTube. There was a time when, to learn the truth, it's funny, we were talking about this in New Mexico. To learn the truth, there was only 2 schools back in like the 90s. So what if you died before the word hit the internet? What then? What's up?
You still going to study to show yourself approved.
Well, but what I'm saying is this. The knowledge started hitting in the 60s, right? And there was no mainstream media to get it out there. So a lot of people weren't able to go into the Bible and just decipher. You see what I'm saying? And say, oh, wow, I'm an Israelite. Wow, that's talking about us. Not a lot of people had that. You see what I'm saying? Not a lot of people do, because you got people now, obviously, that there is internet and they still don't know. Can y'all agree there are people that don't know the truth?
Done.
And there's internet, right?
Done.
What were you going to say, Sean?
I wanted to ask, is it like a collective judgment, like from if we could be reincarnated? I mean, if we don't know right now, would he judge us on what we did before?
I mean, you gotta go deep with it, but let me answer this part, and I'll show you what's gonna happen. Because it's gonna go kind of into what you're saying, and I don't want to go too deep. But think about it. There are people that don't know the truth right now, right? And there is internet and social media, and what about them? Let's read on.
Verse 48. But he that knew not and did not commit things worthy of stripes.
Go ahead.
Shall be beaten with few stripes.
Yeah, there's still a judgment. Because why were you supposed to know?
But to seek the Lord to pass his mouth.
Say it one more time.
Seek the Lord to pass his mouth. But the pastors are supposed to be teaching the Lord.
Well, we were supposed to know because it was up to our forefathers to hand it down to us, generation to generation to generation, right? That's what it says. That's why the scriptures say, visiting the iniquity on the children of the fathers, the 3rd and 4th generation, right? So if you want to get deep with it, I'm not going to go super deep with it, but think about it. We are our forefathers. Because there is such a thing in the Bible as regeneration. They don't say reincarnation, it talks about the reincarnation, it talks about the regeneration. And not where you die and come back as a chair or a butterfly. But what happens is you die and you know the flesh goes to the earth, the spirit goes back to the Most High, And we got a class on it. We can send a link out. But then you're put back into new flesh to start it all over again. To get that chance to do right. To hear the truth and do right. You see that? So, because then wouldn't the Most High just be an unfair judge? Like, damn, you didn't know I was judging. You always don't get a chance to hear. And that's the thing. People have been hearing. They just don't pick up on it. Most High speak once, yea, twice, but men perceive it not. You see that? So, just to answer LaShawna's question about that, we getting judged for the things we did generations ago. Because we did it. We're the ones that broke the law generations ago. We're the ones that didn't teach our children generations ago. Now we're the children that are suffering. You see that? Not to go super deep into the reincarnation or the regeneration. Because that you need like hours. But we can throw the links in there. She did ask another question. Real quick. It was kind of on along these same lines. I just want to knock this question out, and I want to jump into this class. It was talking about, cut off. Are you able to see it, Edith?
Yes, sir.
What is it's Annette. She had a question above. It says something about. Can you see it?
Annette?
Yeah. Can you see every comment?
Can you see the one before 725?
It doesn't say the time, sir.
Oh, can you see where I put everybody ask their questions?
No, sir.
No. Yeah, it cuts off for some reason. It's all good. What we'll do, whatever questions y'all got, just hold on to them. We're going to dive into this topic. Who in here is talented?
We all
Everybody.
We all talented, right?
God!
We're all talented. And we're all, who in here believes that the Most High called us for a purpose?
God!
What's the purpose?
save souls.
To do what?
Preach the gospel.
You said to save souls.
To speak the gospel.
Preach the gospel. So, does the Most High call us to a job and not give us the tools to operate?
Lie.
Because that would be unfair, right?
God!
We got to remember, the Most High is not unjust. He gives us what we need to accomplish. With every temptation, he says he gives you a way out.
God!
Right?
God!
So, with every job that he puts on you, he gives you a way to do the job.
God!
Go to Matthews.
God.
So last class, we went over the 5 virgins, right?
God!
And it was talking, the 10 virgins, excuse me. The 10 virgins, and it was talking about 5 had their oil ready for the marriage. The other 5, they had no oils in their lamp. And going through it and showing what was the mind state. Now as we read down in Matthew 25, we go through the parable of the talents, right?
God!
Matthew 25. And we got to see, man, Christ was dropping a lot of things on the apostles. It was heavy stuff. But he was hitting them in parable form, wanting them to come back and seek out the breakdown. Right? So go to Matthew 25, and we're going to start at verse 13.
God.
Matthew 25 and verse 13. You could label this class talents, or we labeled it online, or am I using my talents? Because talents, and if you define the word talents, it's 2 different things. It's money, and it's your talent, your abilities, right? The way it's broken down in this parable, it's talking about, it refers it to money, right? We're going to show that how Christ was in parable form, talking about abilities. Read that, Matthew 25 and verse 13.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Watch therefore,
Read.
for ye know neither the day nor the hour when the Son of Man cometh.
Why is this important? Why is this one scripture right here so important? What does it tell us?
Be prepared.
Be what?
Prepared.
Be prepared. Get ready. Christ had to say this a few times. Why? Why was he always instructing the apostles to be ready? Why was it always important for him to stress that? Go to Matthew 24 and 36. Why was it always important for Christ to say, man, listen, y'all got to be ready. We got to get ready. You always have to be ready. Be found doing. Matthew 24 and verse 36.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 36.
Go ahead.
But of that day and hour knoweth no man.
Yeah, because guess what? Nobody knew when that day was. That the Most High was going to say, listen, go down and what we talked about earlier in Isaiah. Avenge my people, right? Nobody knows that day. That's why Christ always stressed, listen, y'all got to be ready. Y'all got to be ready. Y'all got to be ready. But was he saying, look, be ready without giving them the tools to be ready? Like, hey, I need you to go farm that land, but I ain't going to give you the tools and the equipment. That wouldn't be right. It wouldn't make sense, right? He always said, listen, be ready, but guess what I'm going to do? I'll give you everything you need. The Father knows what you need. I know what you need. I'm going to make sure you have it. Go ahead, read on.
No, not the angels of heaven.
Not even the angels know. Read.
But my Father only.
Read.
But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Right, because everybody in the days of Noah, what were they doing? They were partying, they were eating, they were drinking, they were acting like nothing was going on. Noah's building this elaborate ark. They watch him build it. He's preaching to them and telling them what's going on. And they're like, nah, bro, that ain't going to happen. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to party. I got time. I got time to get right. Like how they show you in the movies. You got the dude that's been killing people his whole life. And on his deathbed, he's like, I confess Jesus in my heart. And they're like, oh yeah, he's going to heaven. No, he's not. Because he didn't prepare beforehand. It ain't, I'm going to be a killer, murderer, rapist, pimp, player, drug dealer, and on my deathbed when I got shot 5 times, I'll confess Jesus in my heart and then be saved. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So Christ was always saying, listen, get ready. Be ready. Be found doing. Be found doing the will. Right? Jump back to Matthew 25.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Watch therefore, ye know neither the day nor the hour when the Son of Man cometh.
Go ahead.
For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country.
Go ahead.
Who called his own servants.
So this man had servants. This man was going to travel into the far country. He called his servants. Go ahead.
And delivered unto them his goods.
Right. He gave them his goods for a purpose. It's no different than the Most High called us, and he delivered unto us goods to fulfill a purpose. We're going to see what those goods are. Go ahead, read on.
And unto one he gave 5 talents.
Go ahead.
To another 2, and to another 1.
So he gave talents to one. He had 3 servants. He gave 5, 2, and 1. So he was giving them something to complete a job. Right?
Done.
Where you at?
Verse 15, second precept. To every man according to his several ability.
To every man his what?
Several ability.
He gave every man a talent according to his ability to be able to use this talent. Go to Ephesians 4 verse 1. Y'all with me so far, right? Okay, let me know if y'all need me to slow down. If y'all need me to backtrack. I'm going to try to go as slow as possible, but we got an hour and a half. I want to make sure I give you the entire class.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
I therefore, the prisoner of the Most High,
go ahead,
beseech you that ye walk worthy.
That we do what?
Walk worthy.
Go ahead.
Of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
So how are we able to walk worthy of the vocation that we are called? Why would this scripture be so important? Why would Paul say, I'm begging you to walk worthy? What gives us the ability to walk worthy in what the moment? I don't want to give it away. What gives us the ability to walk worthy? We read it in Matthew. Lamont.
The certain talents the Most High blessed you with.
He gave us the talents, right? According to your abilities. So now, he's saying, listen, I gave you this. You got to walk worthy. Right?
God.
You with me, Tony? Go ahead. Read where we at.
Back in Matthew.
He said, so in Ephesians 4:1, walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you were called. What is a vocation?
Job.
A job. Make sure you raise your hand so that, yeah, no, it's all good. That way everybody can get a vocation is a job. Walk worthy of the job in which you were called. So the kingdom of heaven is likened unto this man that's going away on a trip. Think about it. Let's break it down. Who is that man that's leaving? Who's that man? Who was the man that was going on a far trip that left his goods? Yahushua. He's like, man, I'm about to be out of here. I'm going to give you these goods to fulfill a job. Right?
God.
Walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you were called. Go to Colossians 1 and verse 10. Because we got to understand this. How can we walk worthy of something if we don't have the proper toolage? If we don't have the proper tools to walk worthy, what does that give us? It gives us an excuse. Right? It gives us an excuse to say, well, you didn't leave me with the things that I needed. You didn't show me what I needed to do. But we know through this parable that this man, it said he left his goods to his servants, right? He left the talents. He left them according to each man's ability. Why do you think? One man got 5, one man got 2, one man got 1. Because that's what they were able to handle. You see that? That's what they were able to handle. Unless it would have been, hey, they all get 5. But that master knew this man can handle 5 talents. This man can handle 2. This man can handle 1. I'm giving you what you can use to do your job. You see that? Go ahead, read where you at. Colossians 1 and verse 10.
Colossians chapter 1 verse 10.
Uh-huh.
That ye might walk worthy.
Yeah, you might do what?
Walk worthy.
Read.
Of the Lord unto all pleasing.
How? How can you be pleased if you're not, how can you be pleased with me if you're not giving me the things to do my job? How can you tell me to do something and not give me what I need? But we know that's not the case here. We got what we need to do our job. Go ahead.
Being fruitful.
Being what?
Fruitful.
Being what?
Fruitful.
Read.
In every good work.
Wait. In everything that we want.
In every good work.
I'm not going to do the good work.
In every good work.
See, the mission was to be fruitful. The mission was to reproduce that good work. This is our mission. This is what, as men, as women, this is what we're called to do. And we're doing it. We're doing it. This is not a class of y'all niggas is wicked, y'all are off. This is a class of, look, you have the talent because it says you have the talent. The scriptures say the master left us his goods so that we can fulfill his job.
How do we know what our abilities are?
Well, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And see, I like that question because a lot of brothers ask that question, like, damn, what is my talent? But you know what they do where they mess up? They don't give it a chance for their talent to blossom. They say, damn, what is my talent? I don't want to do the work. You never know your talent. That's a good question. But we have to let our talents be developed. You see what I'm saying? Watch. You don't see. Read on.
And increasing in the knowledge of the Most High.
Wait. We're supposed to stay stagnant?
And increasing.
And increasing. The whole point of getting this talent was to increase. You see that? Not to just say, well, damn, I'm good. I got 1 talent, bro. I'm good with that. See that? Oh, I got 5 talents. I'm good. I got my 5. The whole point was to increase, to get better. Read on.
in the knowledge of Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Strengthening with all might.
Read.
According to his glorious power.
Read on.
Unto all patience.
Unto all what?
Unto all patience.
Read.
And the long suffering.
See, this was the point where I don't know my talent, but guess what I'm supposed to do? Be what?
Patient.
Read.
And long suffering.
Be patient and long suffering so that I can bring forth the increased knowledge. You see that? I could do the good work. Everyone know what their talents are when it comes to the spirit. We know we got carnal talents, right? You might cut hair good, right? You might be able to breastfeed 2 twins. Not breastfeed, but mama feed his babies, right? We all got the sister might be able to sing good. You know, you got a sister that can draw good. But what about these spiritual talents that were supposed to be built in us? What about if I don't have a certain talent, how do I acquire it? Because you might not come equipped with what he comes equipped with spiritually. But does that leave you with, oh well, that's just not my talent? Nah. You're supposed to figure out a way to acquire that. Watch, we're gonna get there. Read on.
Unto all patience and long suffering with joyfulness.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 1. So I'm trying to paint this picture of and go through this parable and show you what Christ was talking about. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 1. So we're understanding that we are the servants. Yahweh Shai is the master. He left us tools to complete a job. He left us tools to do the master's work. Right? He left us talents that we were supposed to flip. And we were supposed to, what is it? You supposed to, what's the terminology they use in the word?
Profit.
You profit, you double your money, right? You flip, we say flip your talents. You flip them and double them, right? You invest one way to double your investment. You see that? 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 1.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren.
Here it goes again with this. We beseech you. We beseech you. We beg you. Why? Because it was something that Paul knew. Paul knew that if you didn't use these talents, if you didn't walk worthy, there was a judgment. Because why? You were given what you needed. You were given. There was no excuse. You see that? Go ahead.
And exhort you.
And do what?
Exhort you.
Go ahead.
By the Most High, by the Master Yahweh Shai.
Read on.
That as ye have received.
That you have what?
Received.
You have received the talents. Don't be fooled. We all got them. Go ahead.
Of us.
Read.
How ye
of who?
Of us.
You see that? So what was Paul saying?
We gave you what you need.
You got the example. So even if you didn't understand your talent or understand how to use it, you have the example. Read on.
How ye ought to walk.
How you ought to what?
Ought to walk.
Read on.
And to please Yahweh.
Because that was the purpose. Let me please the master. Let me take what the master gave me so when he comes back, he's pleased with me. He's pleased with the job. Job well done. Read on.
So ye would abound more and more.
And that was the purpose, that you abounded more and more in the faith. Jump back to Matthew 25 and verse 15. Y'all with me so far? Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
And unto one he gave 5 talents.
So he gave unto the servants what they could deal with. So to one servant he gave 5. He's a mightier man than the rest. He could take on 5. Go ahead.
To another 2.
Read.
And to another 1.
Read on.
To every man according to his several ability.
Go ahead.
And straightway took his journey.
Yeah, he dropped off these goods and he was like, all right, I'm out. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. Y'all been trained. You have the example. You have the ability. Use your ability, right? He straightway, he didn't have to sit there and give instruction because it was already given. Think about it. This was the master and the servants. They knew how this master rolled. We know how Christ rolls. How was Christ? Christ was like, listen, I'm about my Father's business. I'm here to do the will of him that sent me, not my own will. So if he was rolling like that, everything under him was like, okay, well, I'm here to do my master's will also, not my own will. But we're going to see who picked up that lesson. Because did they all? They all didn't pick that lesson up. Where you at?
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 16.
Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. Because we're going to see. What are these abilities that thou speaks of? What are these talents that I'm supposed to be using? You got it? Everybody got it? Let me know when y'all got it. I'll wait. Ain't no rush. If y'all, listen, if y'all not understanding what I'm saying, please stop me and let me know. Check online real quick. Just make sure they ain't got no questions on the topic.
So, is that 1 Corinthians?
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. And we're going to take it down to verse 12. So I need clear reading. Y'all got it? Go ahead, read on.
1 Corinthians.
Read.
Chapter 12 and verse 4.
Read.
Now there are diversities of gifts.
So we already read in Matthew that there was different men getting different amounts and different talents, right? So now we're back in Corinthians, understanding there's diversities in gifts. Go ahead.
But the same Spirit.
But the what?
Same Spirit.
See, the master gave the gift, the goods, but the different men, different amounts, but it was for the same purpose. Go out here, use it, flip it, build on it. So you may abound. Go ahead.
And there are differences.
Are there what?
Differences.
Go ahead.
Of administrations.
Read on.
But the same Lord.
So we got to understand that what it's shown is that there's different things given to each man, but from the same person, from the same master. They all come from the Most High. All your talents. You might be talented in one thing. It's going to break it down and show us you might be able to discern spirits. You might be able to prophesy. You might be able to discern drink, whatever it is. But we know there's different things that we're all supposed to work for one common goal. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Verse 6. And there are diversities of operations.
Right, different jobs. These different talents came with different jobs. Diversities of operations. Different ways that things worked. Read on.
But it is the same power.
What?
The same power.
Read on.
Which worketh all in all.
And that was the point. It was supposed to be the same goal. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 10. Somebody get that real quick. Hold where you at. Get it, Ariana. Come on, swordsman. Damn, something out. You got it?
1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 10.
Read.
Now I beseech you, brothers,
Read.
by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ,
Go ahead.
that you all speak the same
That
thing.
you all do what?
Speak the same thing.
Go ahead.
And that there be no divisions among you.
But think about it. These men that Paul, these churches that Paul were talking to, were they all these men are the exact same? They all had the same spirit on them? They all had the same talents? No, but there was a way that these talents were supposed to do what?
That there be no divisions among you.
That they were all supposed to be able to still speak the same thing to accomplish the same goal. Now there's no divisions amongst us. Is that it? Go ahead.
But that you be perfectly joined together.
That you be what?
Perfectly joined together.
Go ahead.
In the same mind.
Read.
And in the same judgment.
And that was the point. But it is the same power which worketh all in all. Read on where you at, Jeremiah.
Verse 7. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit with all.
Wait, is what? Read it again.
But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man.
To do what?
To profit with all.
See, this was the point. These things were given to you for us to profit. These talents were given not to sit on, not to just say, I got them, but for us to profit and build. What's up? Oh, you want to know where we at? Oh, you good? Go ahead.
For to one is given by the Spirit of the word, by the Spirit the word of wisdom.
Did it cut off?
No, it's on 10%.
Oh, it's not charging? For the iPhone?
No, what's that yellow clip?
Should be charging.
Wow. You gotta get that before it cuts off.
Hey,
Hey, get this yellow cord right here.
it says charging on it. It says it's charging.
Yeah, it's not charging fast enough.
I'm gonna use a different cord.
No. Well, try that yellow. Right here. Read on.
Done. To another, the word of knowledge by the same Spirit.
So it says, what verse you at?
8.
Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom.
The word of wisdom. Go ahead.
To another, the word of knowledge by the same Spirit.
Go ahead.
To another, faith by the same
You
Spirit.
see that? Wisdom, knowledge, faith were given to different men, but all of the same Spirit. All from the same place. Is it charging?
It's charging.
To another, the gift of healing.
Hold on real quick. Is there a way to dim that so it's not burning up the battery? Like dim the screen?
I know what you're talking about.
Go ahead.
To another, the gift of healing
Read.
by the same Spirit.
Read on.
Verse 10. Another, the working of miracles.
So y'all see the point here where there's these different talents being given out. But think about these talents. What were they? They were abilities, but they were spiritual. They were spiritual talents. These were talents that were gonna build men, help men, heal men. Think about it. Working of miracles, prophecy, discerning of spirits, diverse kinds of tongues. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
Nah, it's beautiful that we're going over this because, you know, a lot of individuals think that it's just about hollering and screaming scriptures on the street. But the Most High is showing us that it goes deeper than that. And not even that obviously it's a body because they're all intertwined.
Right. And that's the thing where all these talents were supposed to work for the benefit of one greater good, of one cause. Read on where you at. We're going to take it to verse 12.
Cut. Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
To another, the working of miracles.
Uh-huh.
To another, prophecy.
Go ahead.
To another, discerning of spirits.
Go ahead.
To another, diverse kinds of tongues.
You see that? Speaking different languages. Go ahead.
To another, the interpretation of tongues.
Some people can't speak them, but they can interpret it. Go ahead.
But all these working that one and the same Spirit.
That was the point. They were supposed to work in the one same Spirit. Go ahead. But how can they work together if one man says, well, I'm going to use my talent, and another man says, well, I don't want to use mine. I'm going to bury my talent. They won't work. It won't work. It won't be a well-oiled machine. Y'all get that?
Good.
Go ahead, read on.
Dividing to every man severally as he will.
See that? Every man got severally as he will, as he was able. So you might not be able to handle interpretation of tongues, but you might be able to prophesy. But did that mean that you were never able to prophesy? Because you didn't get that talent off the top? What did that mean? What does it mean that if I discern dreams or working of miracles or prophesying, and you got diverse kind of tongues, am I supposed to just sit back and say, well, he got that. That's his talent. I got mine, he got his. What am I supposed to do? Go ahead.
As in you can learn from that person?
You're supposed to do what?
From each other? Build off each other?
Laura.
I was gonna say you're supposed to covet their talent.
You're supposed to do what?
Covet their talent.
Stop stealing my scriptures. What's up, Jeremiah? What were you going to say?
She said covet the
You're supposed
best
to covet. The scriptures say covet the best gifts. Right? Read on. We're going to get there.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
But all these work in one and the self-same Spirit.
Uh-huh.
Divided to every man severally as he will. Verse 12. For as the body is one, and had many members.
With many different talents. Go ahead.
And all the members of that one body, being many,
Read.
are one body.
Go ahead.
So also is Hamashiach.
Y'all, right? Jump down to verse, where we at? We're at 12. Jump down to verse 29. Check this out.
Verse 29.
First Corinthians 12 and verse 29.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 29.
Read.
Are all apostles?
Are they? It's a question. Is everybody an apostle? Read.
Are all prophets?
Are all prophets? Can all prophesy? Read.
Are all teachers?
Can everybody teach? Read.
Are all workers of miracles?
Can everybody work miracles? Read.
Have all the gifts of healing?
Read.
Do all speak with tongues?
Read.
Do all interpret?
No, we all don't. That's why there were question marks there, because we all weren't given that. But what was I supposed to do?
Covet earnestly.
Do what?
Covet earnestly.
Read.
The best gifts.
I was supposed to covet earnestly the best gifts. I was supposed to look at the man next to me and say, wow, I want that talent too, on top of the ones I already have.
Right.
So now I'm multifaceted. But see, we get one-track minded, where it's like, I master what I master, and I'm good with that. Right. I'm just what? I'm one-track minded. I'm a one-trick pony. Where, am I still valuable? Of course. Of course. But think about when you're on your job and you're able to do your job, the job next to you, the boss's job. How much more valuable does that make you? You become an asset. You become indispensable. See, this is how you're supposed to be looking at yourself when it comes to the kingdom, the Most High in Christ. You want to be indispensable. You want to say, you know what? I don't want to be that one where I ran up to Christ and said, Master, Master, and he said, flee, you wicked and slothful servant. I prophesied in your name, I taught in your name, and Christ says, nah, I didn't know you. We don't want to be that. We want to be the one that we taught, we prophesied, we interpreted spirits, we made miracles happen, we discerned dreams, we did all these different things. Not because they were given to us in the beginning, but because some things were given to us and we say, you know what, I want more. I want to be better. I want to grow. I want to bring forth more fruit. Think about it. Think about it. Think about a tree. Think about a tree. A tree that's planted in the right soil and watered. It'll give its fruit, right? And it'll give a certain amount every year. But imagine when you fertilize, add fertilizer to that dirt. Imagine when you start tilling that dirt. Imagine when they say you talk to your plants, right? They grow. But my point is this, you're adding to this plant. Oh, I'm going to go from tap water to distilled water. My plant's going to grow. I'm going to use Miracle Grow instead of regular fertilizer. Right? Because what is it going to do? Now, all of a sudden, that fruit that is bearing, they're bigger, they're fatter, more juicier. Right? And you think about us. How do you become more fatter and juicier in the fruit that you produce? You got to add things to you. You can't just be, I got 2 talents and I'm good with that. You got that old same raggedy soil from 3 years ago. You got to get repotted, homie.
You got to have that fire for that, man.
Yeah, you got to want it, though. That's why it says covet earnestly the best gifts.
Take that.
That's what we should be doing. The scriptures tell us not to covet your neighbor. But think about it. Why was he saying covet earnestly the best gifts? Not covet this nigga's realms. Yeah, something carnal. He was saying covet the best gifts. Covet the things that were going to make you grow in the spirit. Covet the things that were going to make you produce for you, your family, your brothers. These are the things that we're supposed to covet. What's up?
That's what makes you and develops you into an asset. When you when you covet the best gifts that other people have, spiritual gifts that you add to yourself,
right?
That makes you transform into a new person.
Because the whole point is, we got to be willing to take on more than what is just handed to us. Right. Because no matter what, when you're called in here, when you learn you're a Hebrew Israelite, Christ is black. I'm one of these 12 tribes. Right? Moses is black. David is black. I'm a prince. I'm a king of the earth. I'm a princess. Right? I'm a child of the Most High.
Bring it.
But guess what was given to you?
More.
Certain abilities. No, as soon as you got that, certain abilities were given you. Certain talents were already instilled in you. From the foundation of this world, they were instilled in you. They were instilled in you to abound in the word. That was the first thing. There were certain talents put in a man to be able to endure. Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter. Endure temptation. Endure these different things that we go through. When you first get the word, think about it. When you first get the Bible, think about how Satan smashes you. Think about it. God. Think about it. Think about it. When you were first illuminated, it's in Hebrews. It's in Hebrews. When you were first illuminated, you endured the trials. It's Hebrews 13. I'm going to get it real quick. I'm going to have Zion read it. Because this was the point. There had to be something instilled in you for you not to just fade away. So the master gave you a few talents. He said, here, I'm going to give you this. It's no different than a parent. Right? It's no different than a parent that says, you know what? I'm going to start a trust fund for my child. So when they hit 18, I'm going to give them a starter package. They're going to have a little bit of money. 10 and 13? Yeah, I'm going to give them a few things so that life is not as hard starting out. Think about it. What do you do for a child? You feed them, you clothe them, you bathe them. You don't just let them on their own. Nobody just lets their newborn baby just do their own thing. No, you nurture that child. You give them things to start life out. That's the thing that the Most High did for us coming into the truth. He gave us talent. He gave us things to abound. Where we at? I'm going to read it. Read it real quick.
This is Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 32.
This is one of my favorites, man. Read that.
But call to remember the former days in which after ye were illuminated.
Think about it. After you got the word, think about it. Read.
Ye endured.
You did what?
Endured.
You did what?
Endured.
Read.
A great fight of affliction.
But how? How were you able to endure? Did you endure because you said, oh, I'm just going to endure? Or, oh, I'm just that powerful? You have to be given talent. You have to be given something. You have to either be given faith. You have to be able to discern things quickly. You have to be given certain things that were instilled in you, and you might have gotten 5 things, 2 things, 1 thing. But you were given something for you to say, you know what? That's the truth. I understand what the Bible says. But was it just for you to do that and just say, oh, I got it, that's it? You were supposed to take those talents and flip them. You were supposed to take that investment or that talent that was given you, invest deeper into the Spirit so you can move further into the Spirit.
And with that being said, now I learned how we can oppress our oppressor without the use of hands.
Speak on it.
So like you tell us how we teach our children, and then now we refer the enemy.
You grieve the enemy.
You grieve the enemy. So now if I build my brother to be like me, and I build my other brother to be like me, then he gonna build some more like him. Then the oppressor really like, man, it's only a matter of time now.
Yeah, but see, even that's a talent. That's something that's given where it's like, teach your children. You know how you know it's a spiritual thing? You know how you know it's a talent? Because the niggas in the world ain't doing it.
Right.
That's the thing. When you come in here, you learn, oh, damn. Now I got to add this teaching my children thing to the things I already got. Why? Like you said, I'm going to grieve my enemy. Because now, you don't have to get it, but I'm going to grieve the enemy because now I got one that's like me. But see, the point I'm trying to make and really trying to get y'all to see is that the Most High gave us these talents for us to be able to stick through just the affliction. The light affliction was going to hit us in the beginning. Because it happens to everybody. Ecclesiastes chapter 2. Prepare your soul when you come to serve the Most High. Prepare your soul for what? For the temptation. It was going to be there. But he gave you the things. He said with every temptation, he gives you a way out. That's spiritual. He gave you a spiritual talent to beat the temptation. To beat whatever it is that was Satan was trying to beat you with. Y'all get me, right? I'm not going over y'all's head, right? Sisters, y'all good? Okay. This is not a beatdown class. I want y'all to understand that. This is not a rip your soul out class. This is a let me really see what the Most High did. And let me really see that he gave me the things necessary to fight. He already equipped me. He already gave me a butterfly knife, the Glock 10, and a shotgun. But now, when I'm moving through this battle, I'm supposed to pick up other weapons. I'm supposed to pick up the crossbow. I'm going to need that. I'm supposed to pick up the 5-finger knuckles. I'm going to need that. I got to pick up the sniper rifle because the shotgun ain't going to work from far. So I got to pick up the shotgun because I might have the sniper cap. I got to pick up the knife because I might have to get real close. I got to pick up these different weapons, these different talents to beat Satan. But it's like a video game, man. When you walk into a video game, you just walk in with no gun. You get the little crappy pistol, the little 9-shooter, right? 6-shooter. And you got to upgrade your weaponry. But you're already given something to at least get through the first stages.
He gave you something to grow with.
He gave you something to grow with. That's the point. We hit it all through the Corinthians so that you can grow and abound. You see that? Where we at?
1 Corinthians chapter 31, last precept.
Go ahead.
And yet show I unto you a more excellent way.
See, what was how did the more excellent way be accomplished? How? I had to add to myself. I had to add things to myself. I had to be willing to say, you know what? Let me take on more. I have to be willing to take on I have to be willing to take on the chastisement. I have to be willing to take on the trial. A lot of us don't want to take on the trial. We run from it, and we think that we can escape the trial, or that the trial is not necessary. Why are you looking at me like that? A lot of us think the trial is not necessary, but it's necessary. It is necessary. This is how you grow.
And that's true, because I was talking to Zion earlier. And he was pretty much in the same spirit like in your class, because he was encouraging me about, doing the things necessary to rise up.
To elevate.
For us to rank. And I was like, I try to blow it off like, I'm cool with just being a servant. He's like, but that's not what it was for.
Right.
For you to, continue to increase, that you be given more, and showing that you want more.
Because this is what we have to understand. The scriptures say, the tree that bringeth fruit forth, not fruit, is hewn down and cast into the fire. So the whole point wasn't for us to just get it and just sit on it, because that's a way of sitting on your talents when you say, you know what? I know I have the ability to lead men and be a great teacher, but I ain't going to do that. I'm just going to chill. You know what's crazy about that? Before I came to Houston, that was my mind. I was like, I got my whole life to learn the Bible. I got my whole life to do this. I'm going to just take it at my pace. But you know what? It wasn't in me to take my whole damn life. I'm going to be a soldier. Yeah, I'm going to just be a soldier for 10 years and see how that works. Hell nah. He said it. I'm going to just be a soldier. And we looking at him like, nah, bruh. You ain't just going to be a soldier. Let me show you. He had to be willing. I had to be willing to say, you know what? Let brothers add talents to me. That's another aspect. Let brothers add to me. Sisters, you have to be willing to let other sisters add to you. Let your husband add to you. But how? How does it happen? Is it like, oh, here's faith? Hell no. It don't work like that. You got to go through the trial. You have to go through the arena to let these things, these talents be built within you. But you have to say, I'm willing to go through that. Let me set my mind right to go through what it is I need to endure. That's all it's about. How can you endure to the end if you ain't got enough water to endure? How can you endure to the end if you ain't got the strength? But if somebody's sitting there willing to give you the strength, you gotta say, well, damn, if I'm trying to endure, let me get this strength. Let me let this person add to me. Let me go through the trial to be able to be added on to. Y'all get that? Go back to
Matthew
25:16.
God. Then he that had received the 5 talents
Read.
went and traded with the same.
He did what?
Went and traded with the same.
Go ahead.
And made them other 5 talents.
Go ahead.
And likewise, he that had received 2.
Read.
He also gained another 2.
Read on.
But he.
So y'all see that? 2 men said, you know what? I'm going to take these talents that the Most High gave me. I'm going to take what the servant, what the master left, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it to good use. I'm going to invest wisely. I'm going to be diligent. I'm going to take my time. Let's equate it to brothers. You know what I'm going to do? I endured my first trial. Sisters, I endured my first trial. Right? I went through the Ecclesiastes chapter 1, chapter 2. I beat that. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 1 and verse 2. I went through the temptation. I beat that. Now, how do I beat the other temptations that are supposed to come? How do I grow? Well, now let me add studying to my repertoire. Let me add humility to my repertoire. Let me add listening to my repertoire. Let me add that to my many list of other talents.
Right.
But I had to be put in the arena. I had to understand that this was the purpose of me even getting the first 1 talent I had, 2 talents, or 5 talents. It wasn't for me to get it and be like, nah, man, I know that's a good talent, but I don't want to use that.
Listen, that ain't me.
That's not in my spirit.
That ain't who I is.
But see, that's when you become, at that moment though, that's when you become lukewarm.
That's when you become lukewarm,
and then
become stagnant,
and then you're stale. It becomes monotonous, and all these other things happen. And then the Most High, like that tree that doesn't bring forth fruit, he cuts it down and hews it out. Right? He spews that out of his mouth.
He spews you out.
Right, because you're a flavor, and you're supposed to have all these different ingredients about you. You know what I mean? We present our body a living sacrifice unto the Most High. So when you look at a sacrifice, you got all these like different. Like it's like a platter, it's like a big buffet. You know what I mean?
Season up, nice
you sauced it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, right? So when you're giving that to the Most High,
here he goes with his eating.
But you're giving that, right? You're presenting that to the Most High. But if you're giving it nonchalantly, if you're giving it like, well, you know what? You just gave me some rice. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna soften the rice in some water and then put it on a plate and give it to you. What the hell is that? Most High's gonna smack that plate out of your head. You know what I mean? You're supposed to add all the ingredients that go with rice. You know what I mean? If you don't know it goes with rice, then you're hearing every godly discourse. You're listening to recipes. You're listening to formulas to better your dish.
Are we still on?
Gone.
Still alive? Okay. What's that battery look like?
To give it to the Most High. Eight.
Yeah, we should be fine. Y'all see that, right? Matthews 25:16. Go ahead. Read. Go to Proverbs 21 and verse 5. Proverbs 21 and verse 5. So we see that 2 men. They said, okay, Most High provided me with something. I'm gonna use that, flip it, toss it, build on it. Proverbs 21 and verse 5.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
The thoughts of the diligent.
The thoughts of who?
The diligent.
These 2 men were what?
Diligent.
Read.
Tend only to plenteousness.
To what?
Plenteousness.
See, their thoughts were, how do I build? How do I grow? How do I increase? It wasn't how do I covet and get cars, money, hoes, and clothes. It wasn't about that. See, these thoughts of plenteousness wasn't carnal. It wasn't a carnal plenteousness. I need to get every pair of Jordan that drop. It wasn't, or I need to get every woman, or I need to get every this, or no. It was, how do I keep building in the spirit? Go ahead.
But of every one that is hasty Only to one.
You see that? But everyone that is hasty is only just because you want things. Your eyes are bigger than your belly. You hasty to get everything because you just want things. You greedy. But see, the thoughts of a diligent man, he's like, okay, well, I already got the reading part down. I already got the taking good notes. I study. How do I put it together? You see that? Those are the thoughts. Those are the thoughts of a diligent man. A diligent woman is, well, my husband is saying that I need to work on this. I need to work on my communication. I know within me I got to work on my communication. So what am I going to do to increase? I'm going to communicate more willingly. I'm not going to sit around and wait for him to badger me and dig deep into my brain and have to scoop it out and lay it on a table, hook it up to probes and plug it into a computer to read your thoughts. No, I'm going to communicate, because why? Communication is what builds things. Communication is what grows things. A wise woman buildeth their house. So how is it that I'm going to build my house? I got to add these different things to me. If someone is examining me and telling me, oh, I don't have communication, I don't have humility, I don't have meekness, I don't know when to shut the hell up, I'm going to learn, okay, I got to do these things to build. It ain't because somebody's just telling me to do it just to do it. It's because there's a purpose behind it. What were you going to say?
Nah, you know, the scripture says that there be a willing mind, because that vessel is open. It's not closed. It's not like, oh, here he goes again.
Right.
Nah, listen to what's being said, because it's trying to amplify you to another level.
But I love that scripture where it's first a willing mind, then it is accepted. A lot of us got to sit back and see, like, damn, why am I not growing? Why is the Most High not accepting my prayer when I say, Yahweh, increase me in the spirit, bless me with this, bless me with that? Your mind ain't even willing to hear what you need to grow in. Your mind, you're not even willing to hear correction, godly discourse. You're not even able to take the stripes of the godly that say, listen, you need to work on this, sis. You need to work on this, bro. It's like we had a conversation in the car on the drive up here. He had, what do I got to work on to get better? We straight up told him. He didn't sit back like, oh, no, I ain't going to do that. But I've been doing that. He was like, okay. I'm going to work on that. But as soon as his mind shuts down from being willing to hear, at least, there is no growth. There is no increase. There is no acceptance of what you want. Your talent, you're basically saying, you know what? The talent that you gave me, I'm going to waste it. I'm not going to use it. I'm not willing to hear what I need to double my talents. And better, if y'all don't know, it's really about bettering ourselves. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Behold, the kingdom of heaven is in you. That's what it's about. It's really about building and restoring the kingdom. But how can we do it if we're not talented enough to build? If I don't know how to build and he does, and I'm not willing to learn, how are we going to build anything? I got to be able to get on his level and say, okay, teach me how to build. Teach me how to lay that brick in that mortar. Teach me how to lay cement. Teach me how to put windows in. Teach me how to fit pipes. Teach me how to put up drywall. Teach me how to put up the roof and the drop ceiling. Teach me how to build a foundation. I don't know. I may know how to do plumbing, but that's not going to get the job done. I want to be able to do more.
Now, me and Michelle were talking about that because we were talking about him building the next school. And he was like, you know what? I see where I messed up last time. I'm going to actually take brothers with me and show them how he got this tile down. So he can do it. Same damn, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, but it was because it's on that because he's adding to the next man, so the next man can add to the next man.
Go to 1 Peter 4 and 10.
Come on now.
Go to 1 Peter chapter 4 and 10. You right with me.
Come on, baby.
You right with me.
I was in the car with you.
Huh? Oh, you was looking at my...
I won't no,
my notes.
No, I mean...
I put the class together on the drive down from New Mexico. He was sitting next to me.
I wasn't looking at
my scriptures. Wow. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 10.
1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 10.
Read.
God, as every man hath received the
gift. Every man has done what?
Received the gift.
Now, this was the purpose. I received the gift. I received the talent. Go ahead.
Even so, minister.
Even so what?
Minister.
What was I supposed to do with my talent?
Minister.
Go ahead.
The same.
Read.
One to another.
I was supposed to now show a next person my talent. I was supposed to put my talent, my spiritual talents on display for the next man to even say, damn, let me covet that. How can I covet the best gifts if I don't even see them? How? If you're burying your talent, how can I say, damn, I want that talent? I can't. Right? So what are you doing? You're defrauding me.
Right.
But you're also defrauding yourself. You're also defrauding the Most High of what He willfully gave you. Because it was all given through what? It was all given through the Spirit, but it was given through grace. This is what we got to get. Read that one more time.
God, as every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another.
Go ahead.
As good stewards.
As good what?
Stewards.
I beseech you, brethren, walk worthy of the vocation. As good stewards, doing your job. Go ahead.
Of the manifold grace of the Most High.
Because that's where it all comes to. It comes through the grace. It was all about the grace of the Most High saying, you know what? I'm going to give you this. Even though you don't deserve it. Even though I know you're going to bury it. Even though I know you're going to misuse it. You're going to misuse the church's money. Right? You're going to misuse the church's money. That's what it is. That's really the mishandling of the church's money. You're going to misuse this talent that I gave you to build and grow and reach the people. We got to be careful of this. We got to be careful. We don't want to fall into the next verse in Matthew. Read on, Jeremiah. Verse 18.
But he that had received one went and dig in the earth.
Yeah, he's like, man, I only got one talent. I don't need that. I'm going to go bury that. Read on.
And hid his Lord's money.
He did what?
Hid his master's money.
He hid his talent. Why? Why would he hide his talent? There's a few reasons. For one, he's probably looking like, damn, I only got one, so I ain't good enough. Right. I ain't worthy. Right. How come I got one and you got 5? Because that's what you can handle.
That's important.
It said you were given what you can handle. So you're one, you were supposed to take that and make it 2. Take that 2, make it 4. Take that 4, make it 8. But you said, instead of saying, man, let me just take what I got. If it's first so willing minded, it is accepted not according to what a man has.
Right.
You see that? But what he have not. When you looked at, oh, I only got one, so that ain't important. Nah, where the Most High gave it to you to flip. Read that. We go there. Read that.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 9 and 10.
I like it.
It says, whatsoever. Go ahead.
God, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10.
Read that.
God, forsake not an old friend.
Nope.
No, Ecclesiastes 9 and 10
in the Bible.
In the Bible.
Oh, in the Bible.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10. The reason why I'm bringing this is because bringing up about the one talent, an individual may think that, you know, listen, I only have this one job. Well, you need to be doing it to the best of your ability. Because you know what? Most likely you're going to double up and have something else that you're going to put onto your plate. But read that.
God, Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 10.
Read.
Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do.
Whatsoever is given to you. Whatsoever that you find to do for the people in the body. Whatever is given to you. Read.
Do it with thy might.
No, do it halfway.
Do it with thy might.
No, just be a sluggard at it.
With thy might.
You know what? I'm going to procrastinate because I really didn't want to do that.
Do it with thy might.
No, the Most High is trying to show you something, man. He's trying to see if you at least care for the smallest thing.
If you're going to take that one small thing and flip it, think about how much more you could get. But that's what it was about. It was about, I'm going to give you what you can handle for the time and see how you work with that. It wasn't about what you got or how many. It was, could you work with what you have?
I would think this is a story that Kazaki told me back in the day. He was like, whenever he was coming up in the truth, he was the pizza boy. So he would have to go and get pizzas. That was his job. Pizzas. It wasn't reading scriptures. It wasn't on the home post. He was out there at the shop getting pizza. That was his job. But what he was like, listen, I did that to the best. Listen, I was quick, made it happen. Need your plate, wham, bam. He did it with his mind.
Didn't mess up the order, didn't act like it wasn't a big thing. He did it. He did it. He was found faithful and small, and he was given much. Go to, read that verse 18 one more time.
Good. Matthew chapter 25 and verse 18. But he that had received one went and digged in the earth and hid his master's money.
So what would make a man hide his talent?
Slothfulness.
Slothfulness. What else? Think about it. Two men did one thing and another man did another. What's that show about this man?
Disbelief.
Disbelief. What else?
Disrespect.
Disrespect. What else?
Fear.
Fear. What else?
Edith.
What did it show about this man? Two men did one thing and one man didn't do. He didn't follow what was being done. What did it show about this man? Well, it showed that he wanted to do his own thing. It also showed that he didn't have faith in the system. He didn't have faith in the system that if I invest the right way, I'm going to be increased. He didn't look at the examples of the men that had the 5 and doubled it to 10. The man that had the 2 and doubled it to 4. He didn't look at that and say, damn, if I just apply myself, I can do that too. He said, you know what? That ain't going to work. I only got one. It ain't going to matter. I don't matter. I'm not going to be a factor in the equation. I'm not an asset. I'm not strong enough. He came up with excuses. Go to Proverbs 20 and 6. Proverbs 20 and 6. He was fearful. He came up with excuses. He was faint-hearted. All these different things. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
Most men will proclaim. I'll read it again. Most men will proclaim, everyone his own goodness.
Yeah, everybody. Oh man, I got talents. I'm good at this. I'm good at that. I can dance, beatbox, play ball. I can do all these things. But when it comes down to it, are you going to use that talent? Oh man, I just know how to draw, so that ain't important. I just know how to cook good. That don't matter. Go ahead.
But a faithful man.
But a what?
Faithful man.
This man was what?
Faithful.
Well, he wasn't faithful, excuse me. But a faithful man, read.
Who can find?
Yeah. Who can find the faithful man that's going to use the one talent that the Most High gave him and flip it?
And you know what's even funnier?
This ain't funny, bro. No, go ahead.
But okay. The reality of it is, even let's say we're all new people who just come in with one talent, that one open talent, that's still not even fully developed. So you can't even be selfish in that mind state to say that, well, I got all these attributes, and you're thinking you're like King Jaffe Joho, right? When you're really not.
Right, because the whole point was to master what you got.
And you haven't even done that. Like, okay, I'm a people person, but I don't know how to win. I don't know how to be wise and win souls. I'm great at bumping the gums, but I'm a fan.
I'm a people person.
Exactly.
So you're a person that offends people.
Right, I can proclaim my own righteousness.
Yeah, like, oh, I know how to win people.
Yeah, but really, do you? No, you don't. So the talent that you think you do, you have, you really don't have.
But how does it show you that you were using your talent? Because you were able to take that talent and grow.
Right.
And build. You see that? You were able to take this, whatever it was, teaching, studying, you were able to say, you know what, I'm good at that. Let me take on more. Let me take on more. And use those and couple everything together to be this complete person. Ecclesiastes 15 and 15.
In the Apocrypha?
In the Apocrypha.
God, Ecclesiastes chapter 15 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
If thou wilt.
If thou what?
If thou wilt.
If you're willing, read.
To keep the commandment.
Go ahead.
And to perform acceptable faithfulness.
And this was the problem with this man. He didn't want to perform the acceptable faithfulness in his one talent that he thought wasn't important. Go ahead.
Verse 16. He had set fire.
He had to what?
Set fire.
And there's only one of two ways to go. Excuse me. Go ahead.
He had set fire and water.
He had to, go ahead.
Before thee.
Read.
Stretch forth thy hand unto whether thou wilt.
Yeah, there was only one of two ways. What you gonna do? Flip your talent or bury it? You gonna water that talent or you gonna let that talent burn up? Go ahead.
Verse 17. Before man.
Because that's what it was about. This is what it's about. Go ahead.
Before man.
Read.
Is life and death.
Because this is what your talents were about. These talents were given you for life. These talents were given for you to pull yourself up out of that death. That death that we have in our mind, that misery, that depression, that hatred. These talents were given for you to pull yourself out of that. So you're not miserable, so you're not depressed, so you're not hateful, so you're not slothful. These talents were given for us to become diligent, to become wise. Go ahead.
And whether him liketh shall be given him.
Yeah, but whatever you want, that's what's going to be given. You choose you this day, life, death. It's up to that man. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 2.
What about you got that?
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 2. Come on, get that. This is where this man fell off. Where the other two men, they followed the method. They followed the program that worked. See, the third man with the one talent, he was rebellious. He was stiff-necked. He was hard-headed. But most importantly, he thought that his way was the way. The scripture said there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the ways there are of death. His way was the way of death. Choose ye this day, water or fire, life and death. Read that, 2 Timothy 2 and verse 2.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2.
Go ahead.
And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses,
the
same commit thou to faithful men.
Unto who?
Faithful men.
Wait, unto slothful Negro.
Faithful men.
Unto cats that don't care.
Faithful men.
Read on.
Who shall be able to teach others.
This was the point. You're supposed to take that one, flip it, and I'm going to teach you how to do the same. Right. No matter what you had, no matter what the Most High gave you, I was supposed to take that and build. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Read.
Thou therefore endure hardness.
But see, I was already given the tools to endure hardness. I can't be told to do something without being given the instruction and tools to do it. That would be unfair. But it said endure hardness. Why? Because I got that hardness attribute already instilled in me. Go ahead.
As a good soldier of Yahweh Shah.
Read on.
No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Why? Because I was already shown how not to entangle myself with the affairs of this life if I had to handle the Most High's business. I was already given that talent. I was already shown how to acquire that talent. I was supposed to be faithful and say, you know what? Let me try it. Let me use it. Let me see if it's going to work for me. Oh, wow, that worked? All right, the next brother that comes, let me show him. But instead, this third man was like, nigga, I ain't got time for that. I'm about to go do my own thing. I got entanglements. I got my kid, my wife, my dog, right? Me. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I need money. All me. I need to be entangled with the things around me because I don't got time to flip a talent. I don't got time to use the things that are going to build me. Go ahead.
That he may please him.
He was supposed to do what?
Please him.
Please himself.
Please him.
Wait. Happy wife, happy life?
May please him.
But my children?
May please him.
Wait. But I got to, my mama and them.
That he may please him.
That was the whole point. You were supposed to please the Most High. You were supposed to please who chose you. You were supposed to please the servant that came and said, listen, I'm leaving. Here's this talent. Use it. Build. When I get back, I want to see some progress. When I get back, I want to see production. Read on.
God, who had chosen him.
You were what?
chosen
Go ahead.
him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for mastery,
Go ahead.
yet is he not crowned,
Read.
except he strive
See,
lawfully.
this man didn't want to strive lawfully. He thought that I was going to do a roundabout way to please the Most High. I'm going to do a different way to please my master. Where I had to strive lawfully.
Cain tried to do the same thing.
Cain tried to do the same thing. You're right. I like that.
And he told him, if you do it lawfully, that's going to be accepted.
Yeah, he said, yeah. If you do the law, wouldn't you not be accepted? Would no evil come to you? Cain, he trying to do things his way. Oh, I'm going to bring what I want. I'm going to bring what I think is acceptable.
Right.
Go ahead.
So, no, because I got into that talk with, I think it was S.O.W. So, it was Dawiyah.
Okay.
So now you're getting into this, you got the Cain and you got the Abel mind states now, the spiritual mind states. Now you got the one talent, the one thing that the Most High told you to flip, and now you're trying to go in this roundabout way to deliver it,
Right.
which is half-assedly, and that's not going to be accepted. And then you're going to get mad because what you tried to...
Listen, it's not even half-assed. This is total disregard for what's laid down.
Yes.
This nigga took his talent and literally buried it.
Right.
In the ground.
Blatantly.
Blatantly, like, I'm going to stick that in there until 3 months from now.
It's like that. It's like the mind frame of I'm gonna do it my way or the highway. See, the Most High ain't doing with that my way or the highway. No, it's God's way. It ain't how you think things should be. It's how the Most High has things set up. That's why individuals. That's why they digging their talents into the ground, because they don't want to do what's necessary to flip that. They don't want to do what's necessary to actually grow in the spirit because you lazy, number one. But you want to do it your way. You think your way is the Most High's way. Hell no. That's why the scripture says they haven't submitted themselves to the righteousness of God. You haven't submitted yourself.
Seeking your own righteousness.
Right.
And that's the point where, listen, none of us in here are this third man. We can't be. You know why you know you're not this third man? Because you're still in here fighting. You're still in here fighting, and as long as you're in here, the way I see it, as long as you're here, you're willing to hear. As long as you're sitting in these seats, you're willing to be told, you got to change. You got to get better. This is what you need to do to get better. This is how you get better. This is how you flip your talent. No matter what you came in here with, it wasn't about what you came in here with. It didn't die, did it?
No.
It wasn't about what you came in with. It was about how you use what you came in with. And as long as you sit in the seats, you're willing to hear, how do I maximize my value?
5% of.
It's all good. Yeah, we're going to make it. It's only going down a percent every couple of minutes.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
After a long time, the master of those servants cometh and reckon it with them.
Yeah, after a long time. It wasn't like he was gone for a week. It's after a long time. So you had time, bro. You had time to sit back and watch the men next to you build and grow and get the method. You had the time, sis, to sit back and say, damn, how do I attain humility? How do I build my house? It wasn't like he left and then 5 minutes later he came back like, psych. Oh, I forgot something, I'm back. Hell nah, he said I went on a journey. Just, listen, Christ is gone. How long Christ been gone?
A long time.
Years. Thousands of them. So, what's it showing here? That these men had no excuse. Because they seen men next to them using what they had and growing in that and getting better. You had the example. But see, I wasn't faithful to use the example. I wasn't faithful enough and strong enough to say, you know what? Let me try it. Go to Ecclesiastes 2 real quick. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 2. We always hit it. I read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2.
Start at verse, let Ariel read. Start at
12?
Start at verse 12.
John, Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Woe be to the faithful heart.
Go ahead.
And faint hands.
And the what?
And the faint hands.
See, he had a faithful heart. Faint heart.
fearful heart, and faint hands.
He was scared to put his talent to use. He was scared to put his hand to that plow and get busy. This man with the one talent. He was fearful. He was embarrassed that, oh, I only got one. I don't got enough. Somebody getting even where we at.
Give me your pocket.
He was fearful in his heart of the talent that the Most High gave him to build and grow. He had faint hands. Coupled with that, he was useless. Go ahead.
And the sinner that goes 2 ways.
And now he's double-minded. I know the whole time he had that talent buried, he's like, damn, I should go do something with that. Right? Damn, I need to go do something with that. Damn, I need to go do something with that. I should go do something with that. I should go get my talent and use it. Nah, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it buried. It's better that way. And we gonna get that. Nah, I'm gonna leave it. He was going 2 ways. That's how you build this double-mindedness. Because I don't want to use what I have, what the Most High gave me, to be steady. The Most High gave you the ability, think about this. The Most High gave us the ability to be steadfast, to be immovable, like the scriptures say. He gave us the ability, but are you going to use that ability? Are you going to use what he gave you to be rooted? Or are you going to be that man that's just tossed to and fro? Every wind of doctrine. You're going to go 2 ways. You're going to be lukewarm like the scriptures say. Read on.
Verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted.
Go ahead.
For he believeth not.
And this was the problem. He didn't believe. He didn't believe in himself. He didn't believe in the Most High. He didn't believe that it's nothing on all of a sudden for the Most High to make a poor man rich. He didn't believe that if I invested the right way in the right things, something good would blossom from my good works. He didn't believe that the Most High is not unjust to forget your labor and love. He didn't believe in these things. That's why I said woe to him. Because he wasn't willing to say, you know what? Again, let me take what I have. Let me take what was given to me out of grace, out of sheer grace, out of me not even deserving it, and use it not only for me, but let me use it for my children. Let me use it for my nation. Let me use it for my family. Let me use it for my wife. You got to see the things that are affected here when you bury your talent. Households get destroyed. Nations don't get built. Children don't get built. It says, train up a child in the way that you should have him go, and he will not depart. God. Train him in what? How to be lazy? How to not use the tools that you have? How to be slothful? No, we're supposed to train our children on how to make themselves valuable. How do I become valuable? How do I become the apple of the Most High's eyes? How do I get in the realm where the Most High said David was a friend, a man after my own heart? How do I become this friend of the Most High? Because that's what it's about. How do I become beloved of the Master? This is what we're supposed to be teaching our children, our wives, ourselves, the brother next to us. But if not, you teach them that the little bit that the Most High gave you, you can just piss it off. It's not important. Where you at?
Last precept.
Go ahead.
Therefore, shall he not be defended?
Yeah, because when that master comes, ain't nobody gonna be there to defend you. When Christ comes, you won't be defended. There's no defense for why did you get to work and get busy. There's no defense to why didn't you grow in the spirit, especially when you were given the things necessary. There's no defense. I mean, what we don't tell Christ after all the he said, she said, it's going to be, well, what did you do? I understand that, right? After all the Christ, after all the back and forth, well, he said this, she said that, he made me do this, he made me do that, or I didn't do this or didn't do that. Christ is going to plead, but stand in front of you and say, well, what did you do with what I gave you?
No, but
it's about to.
Yeah,
you got to save it before it cuts.
What's it at?
5%.
Say, no, it's good. It just went to 5. It's good. Yeah, I got time. Yeah, I got time.
Okay. No, it's at 4. It's at 4.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just
So stop and save it though.
I got like 2.
Okay.
I got faith, brother.
God.
I got faith.
I'm a 1, right?
I'm a 1. You know what it was really about, these talents, man, is really understanding the magnitude of what's been given to us and why it's been given. It's really for us to understand, what did we get? What is it that we have? What is it that we have that they don't have? We do have the ability to discern prophecy. Once you understand Deuteronomy 28 and 68, you can discern prophecy. You can discern. Once you understand, oh, be not forgetful to entertain angels unawares, guess what? You know how to discern spirits. Once you can apply, you know a man by his walk, his talk, his attire, you can discern things. You're given these talents. You might have not given them when you first came in, but you acquired them after a time if you allowed yourself. Go back to Matthew 25 and 20.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 20. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents.
Get 1 Corinthians 15 and 10. Go ahead.
Saying, Master, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents.
Read.
Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more.
Yeah, he was like, look, man, you gave me 5. Look what I did with this. Who's going to be upset with that? Nobody. Nobody. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 10.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 10. But by the grace of Yahweh, I am what I am.
You see that? Because this man, he was what he was. What was he? He was a talent flipper. He was diligent. Through grace, he was this. Go ahead.
And his grace, which was bestowed upon me, was not in vain.
Yeah, see, these talents that were given to me, they were not in vain. I am what I am. I'm the man that's going to take what's given to me and use it and multiply and build and grow. Go ahead.
But I labored more abundantly than they all.
Wait, he did what?
I labored more abundantly.
He was lazy.
I labored more abundantly.
He was slothful.
I labored more abundantly.
He didn't give a damn.
I labored more abundantly.
Go ahead.
Than they all.
Read.
Yet not I.
But see, he realized that it wasn't I. Go ahead.
But the grace of Yahweh.
See, he realized that the things that were given to him were through grace, and he had to do something with them. He was compelled. I gotta go flip this. I gotta go build this. I have to. Because it was through grace. It wasn't because I was owed anything. We're not owed anything. The only thing you're owed is an ass whooping. Bottom line. That's the only thing you owe is death. But see, it said through grace. Not I, but through grace. I'm going to use these things and build. Go back to Matthew 25 and 21.
Good. Matthew chapter 25 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
His master said unto him,
Read.
Well done, thou good and faithful servant.
Read on.
Thou hast been faithful.
Thou hast been what?
Faithful.
Read.
Over a few things.
Read on.
I will make thee ruler over many things.
You see that? You were faithful in something so small. I'm going to give you many things. I'm going to give you kingdoms. I'm going to give you kingdoms.
Right.
You took 5 talents. And guess what I'm going to do? You flip that, I'm going to give you a kingdom. I'm going to give you many mansions. Read on.
Enter thou into the joy of thy master.
Read on.
He also that had received 2 talents.
Go ahead.
Came and said, Master, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents.
Read.
Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them.
Read on.
His master said unto him, Well done.
Wait, no. He said, well, you only had 2 talents, and you made it 4, so you're slothful.
Well done.
He said, what?
Well done.
Why? Because he took what he had and he still produced. He did something with it. He didn't just say, I got 2, that's it. I'm going to just make it 2. I'm going to sit on what I have. He said, well done. Go ahead.
Good and faithful servant.
Read.
Thou hast been faithful over a few things.
Read on.
I will make thee ruler over many things.
Read.
Enter thou into the joy of thy master.
Go to 1 Peter 1 and verse 7. What were these men going through when they were flipping talents? This is the question. This is what we got to understand. It wasn't just like, oh, I just went and did this, da-da-da-da. No, it was something that was happening. This is what we got to understand. To get your talent game up, you got to go through something. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 7.
1 Peter chapter 1 verse 7.
Go ahead.
That the trial of your faith.
For the trial of what?
Your faith.
These men were what?
You're faithful.
It said, you faithful servant. How were they faithful? Read it again.
God, that the trial of your faith.
Because they went through the trials. Go ahead.
But much more precious than of gold.
Read it right. Look where we at.
Oh, Slock. Being much more precious, gold that perishes.
Read it again. Where we at?
1 Peter chapter 1 verse 7. That the trial of your faith precious than the gold, though it be tried with fire.
You think these men didn't go through hell trying to flip their talents? Huh? You think they didn't go through hell trying to get attributes and add things to them? What you did? They just, here's my talent, flip it. No. They had to go through work. They had to go through hell. You think they just went and 5 minutes later they doubled what they had? No. It said the master was gone for a very long time. So they had to work that whole time. They had to put in that work. They had to go through the trial of their faith. They had to let their faith be tried. They had to first say, you know what? Let me recognize what I got. And let me go put it to work. Let me see if the method is going to work. Let me see if I'm faithful enough to follow what's been laid down. And they did that, right? Go ahead.
Might be found unto praise and honor.
Might be what?
Found unto praise and honor.
Yeah, I will make you ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. This was the praise and the honor. Go ahead.
And glory at the appearing of Yahushua.
Hold on. Go ahead, read verse 8.
Come, whom having not seen ye love.
No. What?
Whom having not seen ye love.
Because was the master there with them the whole time? Like, get to work, get to work, get to work. Flip your talent, flip your talent. But no, they loved the master, so they said, no, we're going to make sure that when he comes, we're going to have production. We're going to be built. We're going to show the growth. We're going to show what we've done with what he's given us. Because of that love. Go ahead.
In whom, though now ye see him not.
They didn't see the master. Go ahead.
Yet believe.
Yet what?
Believe.
Yet what?
Believe.
Wait, fearful.
Believing.
Wait, they were faithless.
Believing.
Read.
Ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory.
Read on.
Receiving the end of your faith.
See, the end of the faith was seeing the talent grow. Seeing what they had double, triple, quadruple. Seeing themselves grow. Oh, I'm a good counselor. Now I'm a good teacher. Oh, I'm a good teacher. Guess what? Now I can street speech now. I can break down. I can do this. I can do that. When I first came in, I could barely read. But now I know how to read. I can understand the scriptures. I can break them down. I can teach. When I first came in, I couldn't cook a damn meal. But now, I listen to my husband. I humble down. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to build a house. When I first came in, I couldn't even build myself. But now I have a family. Now I'm in the care of more than one spirit. Not just my own. Because why? I humble. I listen. I let myself be built. And the Most High said, oh, wow, you were faithful over yourself. The small things, here you go. Here's a whole family. Right? Here's a whole family. Oh, you were faithful in the raggedy car you were driving around for 10 years. Here goes a brand new car. You took care of that. Oh, you were faithful because you had to live with a brother for 6 months. You didn't murmur, complain, and cry. Guess what? Here goes your own crib. It's all these little things that we look at like, why am I going through that? You're going through it to see if you're going to be faithful enough to get your own thing and keep it going and keep it afloat and build it. You gotta, why do you think brothers gotta go live with a brother? Because there was a time you didn't know how to maintain your own spot, your own household. So somebody had to show you. What's up, Neiman? What's it at?
No, I checked it already.
Yeah, what's it at?
It was at 4.
4? Y'all see that though, right?
Uh,
It's like when this brother moved in with me. He didn't cry. He didn't complain. He actually came to me like, I got to move in with you because da-da-da-da. It's like, come on. He was already used to having his own spot, doing his own thing. But even in that, there was things where the Most High was showing him, okay, I got to learn how to do this. I got to do this. I got to pick this up. Once he added what he had to add to himself, 6 months later, he was gone. He had his own spot, doing his own thing. Same thing with me. When I came here, I had to live with a brother for 6 months. It's like 6 months is the number, right? But I had to live with a brother. I had to learn certain things about myself. I had to pick up certain values and attributes before the Most High was like, yeah, go get your own spot. Go do you. Where we at?
Peter chapter.
Go back to Matthew 25:24.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 24.
Go ahead.
Then he, which had received the 1 talent, came and said, Master, I know thee, that thou art an hard man.
Go ahead.
Reaping where thou hast not sown.
Read.
And gathering where thou hast not strawed.
Hey, you know, that's talking about the master. He was not just doing the work. What did he do? He appointed men to do the work. So he was reaping where he didn't sow. But why? Because he had men doing it. So he's like, well, you already got men working. Well, I got to do anything. You see that? You see that mind?
And it's kind of like he had like a envious mind as well. Like,
you already get
all
yours.
I do is just come and just get. But I don't ever see you doing nothing or doing this, but not knowing what you did the 4th time.
Right. That's the thing. It's like, you reap where you don't sow. But how? You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And I was afraid.
I was what?
Afraid.
I was what?
Afraid.
Woe to the faint-hearted. Read on.
And went and hid thy talent in the earth.
Read on.
Lo, there thou hast that is thine.
He's like, man, I hit that. But there it is. It's there. That's yours. Read on.
His Lord answered and said unto him,
Read.
Thou wicked.
Thou what?
Wicked.
Read.
And slothful servant.
Because for him to do good and do it not, it is sin unto him. Read on.
Thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not.
Go ahead.
And gathered where I straw.
Where I have not strawed.
And gathered where I have not strawed.
Go to 2 Timothy 1:6. Let's get it quick.
Quick.
Somebody get James 1:12.
Good. 2 Timothy.
You might get James.
1 and verse 6.
2 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
Wherefore I put thee in remembrance.
Read.
That thou stir up the gift of Yahweh.
You supposed to do what? The gift?
Stir up the gift of Yahweh.
Wait. Bury the gift.
Stir up the gift of Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Which is in thee.
Read.
Putting thee by the putting on of hands.
Read on.
Of my hand.
Where you at?
Verse 7.
Read on.
For Yahweh had not given us the spirit of
He
fear.
didn't give us the what?
Spirit of fear.
Yeah, because you were supposed to stir up the gift in you. Once you stir that gift up, there is no fear. The gift was going to conquer the fear. Go ahead.
But of power.
But of what?
Of power.
Read.
And of love.
Yeah, this man hated his master. Read on.
And of a sound mind.
Read on.
Be not thou therefore ashamed.
See, this man was ashamed. Read.
Of the testimony of our master.
Go ahead.
Nor of me his prisoner.
Read on.
But be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel.
See, this man didn't want to be a partaker of the affliction. He didn't want to go through what was required for him to build his talent. So he automatically said, you know what? I ain't dealing with that. I ain't dealing with that. Go to James 1 and verse 12.
James chapter 1, verse 12.
Read.
Blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
Read.
For when he is tried.
Because he's going to be tried. You can't escape that. Go ahead.
He shall receive the crown of life.
Wait, what's going to happen?
He shall receive the crown of life.
Wait. Surely the Most High is going to try him, and then when he passes the trying, he's just going to be like, gotcha. Got him. Read.
He shall receive the crown of life.
Why? Go ahead.
Which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
Go back to Matthew chapter 25 and 30.
Good. Matthew chapter 25 and verse 30.
Where did you end off in Matthew?
I had
26.
26.
Go to 27.
Good.
Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers.
Go ahead.
And then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury.
Yeah, I was supposed to, listen, you were supposed to take what I gave you, flip it, use it, so when I come back, I got profit. There's fruit. That was the purpose. Not for you to bury what I gave you and then just hand it back to me like I'm supposed to accept that. Like that's good enough. Oh, come as you are, stay as you are. No. The scriptures say, put off the old man and put on the new.
Good.
That's renewing the knowledge of Christ.
God.
That's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to put off the old man and put on this new man. Put on these new talents. Go ahead.
Verse 28. Take therefore the talent from him.
So I'm going to take away your talent from you since you didn't use it. Go ahead.
And give it unto him which had 10 talents.
I'm going to give it to the guy that doubled his talents to 10. Because you're not deserving. Read on.
For unto every one that hath shall be given.
That have what? Everyone that have used this talent. I'm going to give you some. I'm going to give you more. Go ahead.
And he shall have abundance.
Go ahead.
But from him that had not
used his talents, read,
shall be taken away, even that which he has.
You see that? Go to Proverbs. Actually, read verse 30. We're going to end it here.
And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness.
This is the judgment, man. Read on.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Go to Matthew 3 and verse 10. Somebody else get Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 7. We're going to close on Hebrews 6 and 7.
Matthew chapter 3, verse 10.
Somebody get 3 and verse 10. Somebody else get Matthew 5 and 13. Somebody else get Titus 3 and 14. Read that. Where you at?
Matthew chapter 3, verse 10.
Read.
And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the tree.
Why would the axe be laid to a root of a tree? Go ahead.
Therefore, every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit.
Yeah, because this servant that didn't bring forth the fruit needed. Go ahead.
It's hewn down.
He's what?
Hewn down.
Read.
And cast into the fire.
Get Matthew 5 and 13.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Ye are the salt of the earth.
Read on.
But if the salt have lost his flavor,
His Savior. Read.
Wherewith shall it be salted?
Yeah, salt is for a purpose. If it ain't making my food taste better, what the hell? Go ahead.
It is thenceforth good for nothing.
It's what?
Good for nothing.
Unprofitable. Read on.
But to be cast out.
Read.
And to be trodden underfoot.
I'm going to throw that over my shoulder. Titus chapter 3 and verse 14.
Titus chapter 3 verse 14.
Go ahead.
And let ours also learn to maintain good works for necessary use.
Wait. Good works to just do nothing?
For necessary use.
Go ahead.
That they may be not unfruitful.
That's the whole purpose, to not be unfruitful. Hebrews 6 and 7. We're going to close it here.
Good.
We're going to take it to verse 12. Where we at?
Hebrews.
Huh? Okay, go ahead.
Chapter 6.
And this is the closing message that I want to leave with brothers and sisters. Again, this wasn't a class of y'all are wicked, y'all are garbage, y'all are this, y'all are that, ... This was a class of, listen, the Most High endowed you. The Most High endowed you with something, use it. Flip it. Build on it. Let's grow. Let's build. Let's continue to move forward in the Spirit. Hebrews 6 and 7.
Good. Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
For the earth which drinketh in the rain, that cometh oft upon it, and bringeth forth herbs, meat for them, by whom it is dressed.
Because that was the point of the rain, to bring forth profitable fruit. Go ahead.
Receiving blessing from your house.
This is a blessing. A man that grows in the Spirit is a blessing. But a stagnant man is not. Go ahead.
But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected.
Is what?
Rejected.
Read on.
And is nigh unto curse.
Read.
Whose end is to be burned.
But this is the point. Read verse 9.
But, beloved, we are persuaded better things of you.
Because we know better. Listen, we want better for brothers and sisters. We don't want you to be burned up and cast out. We want you to use what you have. Go ahead.
And things that accompany salvation.
Read.
Though we thus speak.
Read.
For Yahweh is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love.
The Most High is not going to let you have a talent, use it, and forget about you. He's not going to make you put in the work to make yourself better and not increase you. That's what that's saying. Go ahead.
Which ye have shown toward his name.
Especially if you're doing it in his name. Only if you're doing it in his name. Go ahead.
In that ye have ministered to the saints.
Wait. You're supposed to do what with your talents?
Minister to the saints.
Go ahead.
And do minister.
Go ahead.
And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence.
Read.
To the full assurance of hope.
Why? Because you have the examples on how to do this. You have the examples of diligence. You have the example that if I put the work in, I'll be increased in the spirit. I'll even be increased in the carnal. But as long as I put the work in for Christ, go ahead.
Unto the end.
Read.
That ye be not slothful.
You know what?
Slothful followers.
But what?
Followers.
To be humble.
Of them who through faith and patience.
Through what?
Through faith and patience.
Read.
Inherit the promises.
This is the only way you're going to inherit these other gifts. Faith and patience. Not being slothful. So I beseech you, brethren, as a prisoner of Yahweh Shai, to continue to use your talents, man, and continue to build your households, continue to build yourselves, continue to build your children. Let's continue to build the nation of faith that's more precious than gold. That is what's going to continue to build and bring out these other talents in you. This is what's going to refine the things that the Most High gave you to be, to endure until the end, to endure the fight. This is the only way. All right? Any questions?
La.
All right. For battery's sake, we want to end it right there. If you got questions, hold them till Wednesday. With that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.
Please don't let it disconnect before you say it.
So, what do I...
Please don't let it disconnect.
Whoa, no. So just hit the X, right?
Let him do it.
So you would hit this thing.
Yeah, eat it. How do you save this on the tablet?
Before the battery dies.
How do you save it on the tablet?
Save it?
Yeah, how do you save it?
You hit the X, right?
I think you hit the X. Yeah, hit the X. There it is.